Let me go back over here. Dang. Y'all let me know if we are live. Shit. We live?
Yep, we live.
All right, hold on, man. Y'all give me 1 second, man. I'm trying to go here and then my laptop. I'll do that. I'll play the music first, and then I'll do that. Well, peace, man. Peace in Black African Power. I'm gonna play a song by my brother Fortune Believes, who is a member of the Mossi Warrior Clan. It's called Crystals Fireproof off the EP Fireproof. After the song, we'll get started with the interview.
Court got. Serving fire some style. 1, 2, 3. This shit here for my niggas up east. Ghost and police in the red corniche. This right here for my vets out west. Rockin' Rolex, live life, no stress. This for my niggas with clout down south. Gats that peel out and shorties that drill out. This right here for the courts up north. Keeping the black brown handcuffed up course. Fireproof is the name-o. Dishing out ammo. Cannibal in the bando. Gripping the pearl handle. My shit go pop like fresh shrimp and Crisco. Broke my wrist scraping up pennies to make nickels. Damn quarter, Chicago's the crown quarter for evil. Still, I got the wheel on my vision like Ezekiel. I'm a skeet, barbecue garbage crews. My melon is shad. I ram tight as the pussy and the mosquito. I play too much. I say shit you don't say too much. Nigga, pants below the waist too much. Land on they dick like they chicks 8 and plus, but hoes looking like apes in the face too much. I'm lyrically set apart, hip hop pedagogue. Wet a hog, gotta spite and recite the Jewish decalogue. Political demagogue with true political views. Like Republican and Democrats, similar dudes, they fight and cite similar rules. Trayvon got shot by a similar brute to me and you. Don't forget about the niggas you shoot or what you bast in, and guess that make you innocent too. My link card don't start till after. On the 3rd, till then I eat animal crackers. On the curb, I got more rams than Jesse Jackson. This shit is fly like Bessie Coleman. You better leave me, Macaulay Culkin, before I Hulk Hogan. Your V-neck, I murder a T-Rex to study his reflexes. Type on the V-tech, cause the Dale went out. It's going down like a ship when the sail went out. I think I rammed dope, now I'ma have to sling this shit. You niggas never fly, see you on your penguin shit. Who the flame retarded MC be? Me, John Avarice, the lyricist doused in kerosene. This shit here for my niggas up east. Ghost and police in the red corniche. This right here for my vets out west. Rockin' Rolex, live life, no stress. This for my niggas with clout down south. Gats that peel out and shorties that drill out. This right here for the courts up north. Keeping the black brown handcuffed of course. I wallow in witch hazel, handle a switchblade and spin you a sick fable. Hand you some lemonade, then render you disabled. Apply for public aid, I spent it all on cable. Tell you hasta luego, nigga. I can rip a rapper, I mean for real, like a snicker rapper. Spread his limbs round like chitter chatter. On the mic, I'm the fickle matter. Hell, I even hiked the mountain with a ladder. It's the broke nigga rapper. Hey, where my bros at? Yo, where them independent women with class, but really project hoes at? With the nerve to ask Gotti, yo, bro, who that? Same type of nigga you would treat like doormats. It's Malcolm X with braids. Break your jaw with the mic, then force you to play charades. Masquerade on the couch, recite the alphabet with a razor blade in your mouth. Cut off one of your ears and ask you to hit me out, nigga. All my bitches cheated on me, so why should I be monogamous when I can just put hollow tips and parts that make them erogenous? The 4th, 5th, and porn flicks got me convinced that it's more fish. Me forfeit, I'd rather gorge on horse dick with a whole board to my torso from face fucking a swordfish. Gorgeous with a mic, I'm Jordan. When I write, I'm Lord and all hail. I lift barbells, 2 reps to my arms fail. Fireproof, nigga. No wonder why my songs fail. I'm too cool for school. I got kicked out of half part trading textbooks for food. It's the A to the VA, R to the ICE. I love listening to LEP. I love Chinese water torture in the tub with ICE. It's middle finger to the CPD. This shit here for my niggas up east. Ghost and police in the red corniche. This right here for my vets out west. Rockin' Rolex, live life, no stress. This for my niggas with clout down south. Gats that peel out and shorties that drill out. This right here for the courts up north. Keep the black brown handcuffed, of course. 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 Y'all niggas know what it is. Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, peace and Black African power. Welcome back to Kofi Piesie Research Team with Kofi Piesie Research Team. This is another edition of Author's Perspective. Well, today we'll be interviewing our brother, our family member. He is the 12th guest of the show today of Author's Perspective. Is Ini-Herit Shawn Khalfani, who we call the Method Man. Patty cake, hey, your bakers, man. But ETM Hotel, which means bring forth peace. Dua Duau, Dua Aku, Dua Netcher, Fatmu Alafie, Fatmu Iwa Pele, Fatmu Iwa Riri, Majuba Iba E Gungun, Majuba Iba E Gungun, Majuba Iba E Lakba, Majuba Iba E Lak Ba, E Gungun, Kiki E Gun. Goon. We always want to get honor and praises to the ancestors because without the ancestors, we wouldn't be here. We are our ancestors. I also want to extend honor and praises to the true and living elders out there according to an African perspective and from an African world view. Peace to everybody out there in the chat. I see Kimoyo West African Spirit, man. I see you rocking that banner, man, the new Independent African Academy, man. Appreciate that, man. And let me know, man, you in supportive of what we doing, man. Y'all please like and share the show. But before we get into it, we got my brother, not Satep Narab, but Sutek Akandi Olawa, who is the detective Sutek on the what is it? Detective Sutek, and we got our brother T'Challa Bangara on the panel, man. Before we get into the interview, man, y'all got anything, man, that y'all would like to share?
Yeah, man, we're giving out citations and arrest warrants to all pseudos out here, man. But yeah, peace to the chat, and appreciate y'all for coming through. We black at it again. Please make sure as you come in to like the show, thumb it up, and please share the show. Try to share the show in some groups. Any group that you might be in that might be interested in this type of information that we're about to get into. So yeah, once again, man, peace and appreciate y'all for coming through.
Brother T'Challa. You still in here with us, Brother T'Challa? I guess not. One more time, Brother T'Challa, you still with us, man? All right. All right, well, let's get into it, man. Y'all please like and share the show, man. I guarantee this is going to be definitely an informative interview, man. So let me get my most name. But like I said, before we get started too, I always have to do something, man. This is something I said I was going to dedicate doing every time I went live that I was going to do because I'm serious, or we serious about this new Independent African Academy thing. So before we get started, let's do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna have to blow this up too. Let me blow my thing up on this other end so I'm able to see what I got going on. Hold on, y'all, bear with me one sec because I want to be able to read this good. All right. New Independent African Academy. So we have mandates, we have codes, codes of conducts, and we have goals that we are definitely trying to fulfill. So before we get started, I want to read these codes of conducts and mandates. I'm gonna blow that up a little bit bigger so I can see and everybody else can see out there on the end. Again, it's the new Independent African Academy. This is separate from the other community over there. If you tired, like, I ain't finna go into that, but let's get into it real quick. The new Independent African Academy mandates: never talk down on another NIAA member of the police. No pseudo. Number 2, research methodology must be followed. Number 4, teach those that are ready and willing to learn. And there's a lot of people that ain't willing to learn. Support other members. Disagreements handled in private. No one is above correction. We must stand for Black Africa, is diaspora, is descendants in diaspora. Zero tolerance for dishonesty. Let me go to the next page. Number 11, no selfless acts. Number 12, no scamming. Number 13, no pedophilia. Number 14, no disrespecting Black women. Number 15, race first. Number 16, supporting Black business. Number 17, integrity. Number 18, must possess the will to learn. Each one teach one, as we say over here, as I learn, we all learn. Also, the new Independent African Academy goals: producing more authors, producing exceptional men and women, institutions for learning, entrepreneurs, scientific literacy, scholarships for the youth, long-lasting marriages, creating rites of passage, unification, and multiple support groups. So there you have it. So again, if you want structure, this is the place to be. The new Independent African Academy. These are our codes of conduct, our mandates, and our goals that we are trying to achieve. We're trying to bring back that standard of the first conscious community. And if you are interested in getting a shirt, go to familyconnectedapparel.com. That is our apparel company. These are the new Independent African Academy shirts. If you want a shirt, there it is, www.familyconnectapparel.com, or just go to Google, type in MBOKE, and the rest of it come up, click it, go and find the shirt. If you're supporting and you're rocking and you want to be down with the new Independent African Academy. Also, if you don't have my book, Beautiful Lessons About Kimoyo, please go get that book, Beautiful Lessons About Kimoyo. Again, if you want to learn about those different elements of what y'all call an African traditional religion or African spirituality, this is the book for you. And again, I have been getting some great reviews. A few people have read the book front to back, but the most important person that reviewed the book and gave me high esteem was Brother Benjamin Njai, aka Black Panther Man. That means a whole lot. Not to say that anyone else is who read the book who also gave me good feedback. I appreciate that too. But that's good, man, when you're able to impress your colleague. All right, also get Spearmasters, a historical survey in the minds of African warrior scholars. Spearmaster, historical survey in the minds of African warrior scholars, volume 4. It is out now. Go get it. Also go get What Sars-Cov2 Taught Me by Ini-Herit Shawn. Those two last books that I just mentioned, those books came out this month. Please go purchase the books. All 3 books on Same Tree, Different Branch Publishing. That is our publishing company. Let me change the camera. All right, so let's get into it, man. Y'all, please like and share the show. Please like and share the show. Peace to everybody that's in the chat. And again, like I say, this is definitely going to be informative interview. I have never interviewed one of my own colleagues or one of my own. Well, I have. Ben is my brother. Unc is my brother, so I can't say that. So, Brother Ini-Herit Shawn Khalfani, man, can you introduce yourself for the people that may be up under the rock and may not know who Ini-Herit Shawn Khalfani is? Most of the people in the chat know, but a few people that may watch it later on in the archives may not know who Ini-Herit Shawn Khalfani is, or somebody that may stumble across this video later on within the months may look at it and be like, hey, I don't know who this cat is. So please introduce yourself, man, briefly to the people that may not know who Ini-Herit Shawn Khalfani is.
Yeah, man, my name is Ini-Herit Shawn Khalfani. The Ini-Herit Khalfani basically means he who brings back the law shall lead. You could just call me Sean, though, you know what I mean, if you can't pronounce it, but it's Ini-Herit. So I'm a member of the Seshew, member of the Mossi, member of the Kofi Piesie Research Team. I've authored in total, co-authored and authored in a total, maybe 10 publications. Yeah, I think 10 publications. There's 4-volume set from Spears from the Mossi, from Cocaine to Consciousness, a children's book, One Night Before Bed. And then I have The Coming of Islam in the Land of Balad Al Sudan, What Sars-Cov2 Taught Me. And I'm in 2 journals, Killmonger's Corner Volume 1 and Killmonger's Corner Volume 2. So you want to make sure you get those as well. You can pick those up on Amazon. The journals. The other books you can pick up at Same Tree, Different Branch. I also do I'm working on my editing skills right now on so I can lend in a helping hand in editing books and, doing the grammar and all of that good old stuff on this end. So that's me pretty much. I'm from Tennessee, Nashville to be exact. I've been a part of the community maybe 6-7 years. I've been writing since I came into the community. I started writing on Naya's blog.
Let's say that, Shawn, because I mean, you already answered some questions I already got for you.
Go ahead, then. I'm gonna be quiet then.
That's why I said briefly. Okay, all right. Again, y'all, please like and share the show, man. Please like and share the show. Like I said, this is definitely going to be an informative interview. I guarantee it's definitely going to be an informative interview. And peace to everybody, man. Jama, man. Jama to everybody in the chat, man. Jama just mean peace. Jama and Boga, peace, family. I see Sister Benita in there, y'all. Sister Benita. So, man, let's get into it, man. These are some of the questions, man. I know you already familiar with these. But the first couple of questions, man, is always I ask each person, man, that I interview to come on out the perspective, man. But man, name some of your few authors, Shawn, man.
Some of my warrior scholars.
Nah, some of your favorite authors. Or it can be your favorite warrior authors. It doesn't matter.
I know, man. Yeah. So my favorite authors is John Henry Clark, Amos Wilson, Asar Motel. Let me see. I got Dr. Ben in there with Sheikh and Tijoke. I got John G. Jackson. I got all the legends. You know what I mean? But my favorite authors, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. It's gonna be Asar, Dr. Clark, Theophilo Banger. You know what I mean? That's gonna be in my bunch right there. And I don't see him as I'm gonna leave it like that because you said authors and Amos Wilson. So yeah, just keep it short.
Okay, man, most definitely, man. Those man, I don't think I can disagree with none of those authors that
let me add one more.
Okay.
Jay Ajay, African historian, Jay Ajay, scholar, PhD.
I'm not familiar with him. What he wrote, Shawn, if you don't mind.
History of West Africa, Volume 1, Volume 2.
Okay. And that's I have it, I just hadn't read it.
Yeah, Jay Ajay and Michael Crowder.
Right.
And there's a colonial book that he actually wrote and a couple of other texts. I feel like every time that I get into his text, man, I get solid scholarship from Africa, from the continent.
No doubt. I hadn't picked it up yet, man. You actually was the one that put me on that book. That actually got me to purchase that book. Man, it's been about 2 years now, I think since you. Yeah, man. Peace, Chef, and I see you, man. Peace, Centavo, if I'm saying your name right, man. Peace. Yes, that's Centavo, scripture rip. Man, but yeah, man. And that was one of my questions too. What do Ini-Herit Shawn Khalfani mean, man? But you already definitely broke that down already in the beginning. I always ask people when I see their names or whatever. If it's not a plain name, you know what I'm saying? I know it's meaning some way, or I know that it has something to do with Africa. I always ask them to break the names down because a lot of times African names has a significant meaning behind the name. But man, let's go into, man, because I'm not even really, I know you kind of touched on it a while ago. I kind of stopped you, man, but how long, man, how long you been writing, man? How long you been writing, man? And what got you into writing? Because I think it was somebody who got you into writing, but I could be wrong. But how long you been writing and who got you into writing?
Yeah, you wrong.
I ain't even told you who I think it is.
It don't even matter. You wrong. I actually been writing since I was a kid, since I was like 6 years old. I used to write love letters to all the girls in the school. And you know how you always can write the letter, then on the outside, you got the boxes right there, check yes or no, you know what I mean? When they unfold it, it lets you know if they're going to be your Valentine and all that old stuff. So I just used to write like the little letters in class to all the, not, it wasn't one girl, all the girls, just to see who would respond to the letters and everything. But I always used to like sneak and write like poetry and stuff like that. I always been creative like that, and drawing. But I stopped drawing, and I just kind of, kept writing a little bit, but it wasn't very much structured. I just had a little flow. What it would do is, writing would help, was part of like, escaping reality at the time, because of the circumstances that I was under as a kid, man. I pretty much, you know what I mean, mentally needed to get away. So it was therapeutic for me because of the environment and so much pressure on me as a kid. And that stuff, you know what I mean, kind of soothed it, but quite some time. And then I just kept on, and kept on. But I always been creative though. You know what I mean? So I knew how to, I had a way with words. So, when I transitioned or came into the actual community, I used to write like little things like that. And I was being pushed to write, but I just wouldn't write at that particular moment. But then, you know what I'm saying? Now I was like, hey, look, I'm about to start a blog. I know you be writing or whatever. She's like, I want you to write something for me. And then I dropped a couple of things on there. You could tell because it looked rough early on. But then by the time I get to write the article about what is that? The one I did about SETI, and it was posted on the Amara Squad. Then that's when the writing began to develop more and more.
Wait, I was right. Peace, wifey, too. My wife is in the chat, man. She don't get mad if I don't speak to her. She's still in there. She might have jumped off there if I didn't acknowledge her, but getting but yeah, but peace to my wife. But yeah, you answered. That was my thing. I didn't know for sure was Naya, did Naya influence you to actually write? Because even with you being a part of the Seshew Medew Netcher, us being in the group together, I didn't know, you was a writer. And then later on, I started to see, I seen with the Voices of Fire, I seen she published your one of your articles, man. I was like, dang. And then I seen another article. I think I might have read like 3 articles out there. I was like, well, man, he must be serious about writing these articles in which, that, and I always say this, I always say this, and I'm saying this because at one point of time, it wasn't nobody but me and you, just me and you before there was a Kofi Piesie Research Team, and before we was even a part of the Mossi Warrior Clan, it was just, me and you, and, when I seen you do things, it kind of like inspired me. Well, I actually started Kofi Piesie Written Compositions blog site, and I wrote my first article after, I didn't start writing that after till you created your blog site. Give other people the name of your blog site. You started out with the Voices of Fire with Naya, but then you transitioned to writing your own blog, and creating your own blog site for people that may want to go and read some of those articles, man. What's the name of that?
Memoirs of Inutu, yeah. INOTU.
Memoirs of Inutu.
Yep. So you can put my name. You can put my name in Google,
right?
And memoirs will pop up if you can't find it.
That's how you know you're doing something, Shawn. Like if that's how you know you're putting in some work. If you can go and Google somebody's name, and everything, just about everything they did pop up on there, man. They doing something, man. They working. They is working. Yeah, man. So and that's what I wanted to explain, man. Explain the process, man, for people, because this is a learning show also as well. So the process, because one of the main goals, even before we started the New Independent African Academy, and one of the goals was to produce more writers, we had already had that goal in mind and set when we created this author's perspective. And we started interviewing authors. We started interviewing Black authors. And while we highlighting the authors' publications, we also make it a learning lesson where, we show people exactly, the steps and the methods to take in order to write a book, put a book together, and also publish a book, the ins and outs and the do's and the don'ts. So, man, explain your process, man. What Ini-Herit Shawn Khalfani's writing process look like when you're writing books, whether it's your own individual books. I don't know if you have two different processes that you go in. I don't know if you have and that can be a question too. So do you have two different processes? And if you have two different processes, and what I mean by that is you write with a collective group, which is the Kofi Piesie Research Team, and then you write you write your own publications as well individually. So do you have two different processes, or your process is the same no matter what publication you're writing, whether it's individual or whether it's collective?
Yeah, I don't change my process for nothing.
Hey,
I think you're trying to put somebody in.
let Chavis in.
All right. But go ahead. I don't see Chavis. Oh, I see him now.
Anyway, my writing style I don't change my writing style for nothing. When I'm researching, if let's just say I'm reading a book, whatever the book is that I'm reading at the current time, if it inspires me, then I will go behind the author and scrub it for more sources. And then I go behind the sources and scrub it for some sources, and I look for like journals and articles and stuff like that associated around a topic if I'm inspired by that. So sometimes I write in moods. So I really don't get writer's block because of my creativity. Like if I'm not moved to write, then I'm not going to write. But if I'm moved to write, then I'm going to put pen to pad, and then I'm just going to start off somewhere. So I always start off with basically an outline of a subject matter that's important to me, or that I feel like that I want to expound on, what the people should want to know, should know more about. Because really a lot of, and this is not disrespect, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, but a lot of people do surface level research, and a lot of people do that incorrectly, and they stay there, they stay on the surface. So when you start digging deeper and you're trying to expound on, really trying to get to the bottom line of something, or the truth, or the element of surprise, when you're cross-referencing and fact-checking information, you want to share that information. But sometimes you can't do that in 140 characters, or you can't do that in a long Facebook post, or you know what I'm saying? Or you can't do what you really want to do on a presentation. You can, but the presentation ain't going to be looked at the same if it's like 4 or 5 hours. So you have to minimize, you have to minimize those things, but then you can expound on those things in a book. So I did earlier on, though, have one particular style that would be influenced by some things I did in presentations. And then I got out of that realm, and then I kind of implemented the same structure so I could outline my stuff, stick to the outline, and then I can go through, and then I can write when I need to write. But I can't write what I need to write until I've, did all my literature review on the said subject, did my cross-referencing on the said subject, scrutinize the pros and the cons. And then if I'm coming to an honest conclusion about something, it has to be driven by the data. It has to be driven by the evidence. It has to be driven by what I can demonstrate and prove. It can't be, my hypothesis can't be my conclusion. So if you ever see me writing a conclusion, it's not going to be the word I believe, or I think, or I'm sure, or none of that. It's going to be directly about the information, because that's what ultimately stand the test of time. Now, if the information change, I ain't the one that I'm not the one that's not going to be in favor of coming off that. I will conclude differently only if the evidence concludes that way. So you got to be data driven, and you got to be what you can prove, show and prove. So I don't change no method. I don't change what I write.
Man, you just gave a whole rundown, man, of and I like the way how you explain your process, man, and your method. And for people that may have missed that, man, this he hit on some key and critical points of how his process is in writing. But real quick, you mentioned surface level, man, research, man. Can you expound on that just a little bit for people that may not know, man? What do you mean by surface level? Even though they should know what that means, because you actually just went deep into in-depth research. But can you expound on that, man, for people that may not know? Are you talking about people just the people that actually just reading a book, man, and just going off that one book and not scrubbing those sources and then
It ain't even got to be a book. It ain't even got to be a book. It could be a news article. It could be some sort of Google link from some type of research gate. It could be anything that you can Google online, like that surface level. So what I mean by that is, let's just say, let's take your bias, right? Let's say you feel like we probably gonna get into this later, but so I'm not even gonna really use that. Let me use something else. Let's say the scientific community published something today about Homo sapiens sapien, some new evidence that has been revealed. The article go up and it's on different news outlets or whatnot. People will get that article and share that article. Then you got some people that get that article, read that article, and then they'll look for the source in the article, or they might not look for the sources in the article, and they share it, but they read it. So you got two type of people. You got people that are headline readers, and you got people that actually read the article for what it is, right? The headliners don't count. They just influenced by moment. They ain't even read the article yet. The people who read the headline and then read the article, they stop right there, and then they side with the article based on the way it was presented. What it's saying, the article was saying this, or the article was saying that, and then they stick into that. Then you have people that go behind the article and scrub it for the sources to vet the information. And then when they get to the actual source who published the article, then you see all the additional sources that go with that. So when you get that information, and then you can scrub that information and cross-references the sources that are in those journal articles and things of that nature, and find more information on the subject matter, then you're going from one step to another step to another step. See, everything is about a process. Mm-hmm. And I want to say this, and I'm not taking a shot, but I want to say this to Taji. He had brought up Tep Hesep on being post, where he shared about the book. Tep Hesep means correct method. So in order for me to do anything, I have to use the correct method. So that's why some of y'all call me Method Man, but Taji don't know that, because he's entrenched in his sarcasm, and he was just trying to be deliberately funny at the time, but not knowing that if he read anything that I wrote, he wouldn't be able to refute the information. So shout out to Taji, because that's the only way that I operate, is within the realm of the correct method. And that means demonstration beat conversation. You have to have a command of the information that you're researching in order for you to conclude honestly. But I just gave y'all what surface level researching is, and then I gave you what the go behind is in those examples.
Right. Brother LaVelle said, thank you, man. We gonna be having Brother LaVelle on pretty soon too, man.
Yeah, shout out to that brother.
Yeah, we looking out for him. He's a writer too, man. He's a writer, pretty good writer too, man.
He support too. So
yeah,
shout out.
He support all the time, and he writes, man. He's a writer. He has a blog site. He's a writer. So we got an interview coming up with him pretty soon, man, because we want to influence him to transition from the articles to actually publishing his own publication. But shout out to that brother. He said he just learned research and methodology. And we talk about research and methodology. That's why I wanted you to kind of explain it a little bit more, because you know, a lot of people don't get it. People think that when they go and read an article or they go Google something and they read something for 45 minutes, they done some
most of those articles aren't 45 minutes. Most of those articles are 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah,
there may be an article that might be 8 minutes. People ain't reading those links like that, man. There's like 8 to 10 minutes, 20 minutes of stuff like that, or require you to go digging behind them and reading the other stuff. 3 to 5 minutes, bro.
3 to 5. That's all they giving it. That's all they giving it.
Yeah. Or shorter than TikTok.
Wow, I was giving them people 45 minutes. Well, Shawn said, and I kind of can believe that, especially with the TikTok, man. I know right now we're living in an age where the attention span, man, is very, 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 very short, man. So yeah, you're right. People have to go on TikTok and get their information, or Facebook and get their information, and or if they Google something, I guess Shawn say 8 to 10 minutes. I was giving y'all 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, see, 8 to 10 is excessive. Somebody's not going to read all of that. It's got to be in a short amount of span, or a summary or something. So in order for people to actually fully comprehend certain things, some are relying on someone else's knowledge of a subject matter, or, you know what I mean? Because sometimes we're really entrusting certain people to get the data correct, because some people don't have the time, and it's not everybody. Some people don't have the time of day to do certain things. Like my reading method may be different than everybody else's. Some people just open up a book and start reading, and then they cool. You know what I mean? No matter how long it take them, they doing that, and that's fine if you read at your pace as you're supposed to. But my reading span may be at I'm gonna read an hour a day. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get up with sleep in my eyes and brush my teeth and use the restroom, wash my hands, and then I'm gonna open my book, and then I'm gonna read my book, and then I'm gonna go back to sleep. That might be my method. You see what I'm saying? And I might read it till I get sleepy, which means it could be an hour and a half, or it could be 2 hours. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna try to get as much reading in as I can, because I'm not gonna read the rest of the day. So I do it at a pace where it's most peaceful, and when I know I can get it in. And then I go on throughout the rest of the day. Now, throughout the day, I'm reading articles that's been published on subjects, or I might go digging for some article or some sources on certain subjects. And then all of that is collecting data for me. So if I'm reading something, and then throughout the day, I'm gonna get more information to expound on what I began to read. Like, for instance, I'm reading a book about culture right now, but I've already got a whole lot of books on culture right now. But this book is adding more to the information that I've already researched 3 years ago. And then these other books that I read regarding, the subject matter, lately, I'm using those to tie into the book that I'm actually reading on culture. So now that's basically 6 books in literature review to go with another 20. But I'm not gonna put, you know what I mean? That's just something that I do. Not everybody would want to do that, and I'm not going to advise everybody to do that. But I try to collect as much data as I can, so that if I drop something, not only is it a teaching moment, or it is a teaching moment for myself, but it's also I'm sharing in that teaching moment with everyone else, so that they can get a full scale scope of what it is that our ancestors, or whether it be in America or whether it be in Africa, saw things during either turmoil, chaos, or peace. And I try to bring that out, because not everybody bringing certain information out. Everybody just, you know what I mean? We either drowning certain information out, hiding certain information, or we don't know what the hell, we just don't care. We just, whatever TikTok tell me, I'm riding with that.
Yeah. Peace Brother Exes File. Peace Brother. That's another member of the Mossi Warrior Clan. Yeah, man. How many publications collectively with the group and individual? I know you mentioned that earlier, but just to reiterate, man, just how many books collectively and individually you have?
4 individual, 4 collective, 2 in journals. So that's 10.
10 publications. So this brother is right. And within those 10 that you said, with that was that it seemed like, and then I know it is, you did all that within those 10 publications collectively and individually. You did that within what, a two and a half year
Let's say less than 2.
Less than 2 years.
We dropped Spills of the Mossi last year, right?
Yeah, we dropped it last year.
Right. So
March.
Right. March of last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of writing in a year.
Right.
Think about it. We just passed March, so basically a year and a half. So in the last year and a half, I've been affiliated with 10 books.
Right. Damn, that you're right. You're right. That's a lot of writing, man. And that's a lot of writing right there, man. Within a year and a half, 10 publications within a year and a half, man. And that's what
think about all the reading I had to do.
Right. Exactly. But people don't know that. People think that it's something easy. And I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow too, because I'm going to address that too with the copy and paste shit. But yeah, that's a lot of
what you mean copy and paste?
I don't even really want to talk about it. I got so much receipts, man. I just been collecting stuff, man. But I'm gonna deal with it tomorrow, man.
Okay.
I just got too many receipts, man, and we're just trying to just show the receipts and address it, man. But yeah, man, that's a great accomplishment, man, for a person to say that they wrote collectively and individually 10 publications. So within a year and a half, there's 10 publications that has came out. And then if we go and type in Ini-Herit Shawn or Ini-Herit Shawn Khalfani and put book beside it, there's 10 publications. I'm telling you, that's exactly what's going to happen. I already done it. I try to Google, everybody and see what everybody's looking like. You know what I'm saying? To see, this is how I determine or I measure people work ethic. I'll go and Google their name. You know, some people name don't even, and I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow too. Some people name talking SHIT, and I Google their name, ain't nothing. I can't find one. I can find nothing. But but I mean, but you know, that's how I measure people work ethic. So if you Googled Shawn's name, there's a plethora of things that'll pop up: books, presentations, articles from different blog sites, such as his own, such as Ben's Black Panther blog site. I forgot the name of Ben's. What is the name of Ben's blog site? Because we didn't even mention that when we mentioned article. We mentioned The Voices of Fire, and we mentioned the Memoirs of Inutu, which was your publication. But Ben, you also have some work on Ben's blog site as well, right? Published articles, right?
Yeah, I got published articles on Ben website as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my site, and then I got stuff like we all got stuff on Panther website.
Right, man. So I mean, people, y'all just have to listen to what he just said, man. That's a great accomplishment. I know a lot of people gonna, may down talk the brother. I don't think that's a major accomplishment to have 10 publications out that you actually can go and buy right now and read right now within a year and a half. And like he said, man, there's a tons of books that he has to read because, he explained the method. So, and for those that understand what research methodology and comparing analysis and things of that nature, you understand that there's a lot of reading that goes behind, these said subject matters, so, man, that's astounding. Now that I look at it, I'm saying 2.5 years. And now that you said it, it actually has been a year and a half. Man, so what was your feeling, man? I want to know. I don't think I don't know. Everybody know I I ran out my house, man. I got on the highway, the first publication that we put out. And I just put it in the back chat and Sean threw it up on his Facebook page. But I got up early in the morning, man. This had to be about 5 something in the morning, man. I got in my car and drove all the way down the highway, hollering and screaming and recording them so I can put in the back chat just to let them know how much joy I had when I seen the first publication that was actually, okay, it's on a marketplace actually being sold. And when people look at it, it has the group name that I belong to, and it has a survey or two that I have written inside of this book that everybody can go purchase and read for themselves. So for you, man, so what was that feeling like when you first seen the first ever publication, man, that you actually put out, man? What would that feeling like for you?
Oh, man, I ain't even gonna cap, man. I was just nonchalant about it. You know what I mean? I was more so tripping off your reaction at the time because, you know what I mean? I just felt like really like we have already done it anyway. You feel me? Like this, we just published it. So I felt like, okay, we achieved that. But I think that to be honest with you, I got more out of the process of that first publication than, you know, than the book being released, because all the meetings, all the headaches, all the soft editing, you know, meeting with Naya, her giving us the direction to go with, looking for somebody in particular to edit the book for us. All those things early on, the process, you know what I mean, that got us to where we were. That was my moment. You know what I mean? I guess I was trying to be as calm as a quarterback in the pocket with the blitz on 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 5. You know what I mean? That was my whole thing, was to be like that, to be calm as Tom. But during that process, you know what I'm saying, you was a nervous Rick. So we can't have 2 nervous Ricks. You feel me? Like we gotta be able to weather the storm. So no matter the pressure that was applied, the intention was to get this thing done. And so when we did get it done, it was more so seeing you celebrate that because of all the worrying and complaining that people didn't see or know of. Like you was like really every day, you really was like worried. You really was in a place like, man, are we gonna be able to do it? You know what I mean? We was pushing deadlines. Like people really don't know that. Like they don't know like at what level of frustration you was at. And then you trying to get a bunch of grown men who got lives and things going on to organize and get stuff accomplished. Like they don't know that I spent my whole 8 hours on the job one day working on the book.
Yeah.
I'm working my job, but we get the book done because I sat there and I really sacrificed it. And, you know, we got all that arranged, the images and the whole 9 yards. We got all of that done. And you know what I'm saying? They say that in order for you to accomplish anything, you got to work twice as hard. So you got to do your job and then you got to do your other job. So I did that to eliminate everybody else having the headache or the worrying about it. And then from that, we learn, you know what I'm saying? By the time we get to the 3rd book, shoot, we already done wrote or told by the time we get to volume 3, we got 3 other books. So we got a total of 6 books by the time we get to volume 3. You know what I mean? And now writing a book it isn't as difficult because you could put it together and you know what I'm saying? Well, we put it together and organize it and know what we're doing now. And now you're implementing a new role into that, which may consume some time. And that's when you going through grammar, you know, editing the book and reading the book over again and making your corrections and trying to get your grammatical errors and citation and getting all of that corrected. That ain't even a headache for me no more. So it's like if I is like my next step is, can I get to where Asar is in writing? Because Asar write for a whole year and then he'll publish a book. You know what I'm saying? And or it may be 2 years or whatever the case may be. But he'll publish it like Illusion Volume 2. Like, look how thick that book is.
And what was so crazy about that, Shawn, was he told me he had more pages, but he went through KDP Amazon and it stopped at certain pages. So he had to stop at a certain page because they wasn't gonna print no more of the book.
Yeah. So yeah, that's ridiculously crazy. And then you get Takadem with their 1,000-page books. But if you take them 1,000-page books and you add it in the format of a Sars book, it's probably about the same in pages because he got a lot more words on his pages. But you know, getting to that point, I don't know if I would get to that point because only researchers can read those big old books like that and stay within the flow of it. Or people that's entrenched in a subject matter invest that kind of time. Like and this is no shot at anyone, but think about it. I try to write for the layman, or I try to write for not only the lay, but people who really don't have the time. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like people really don't have the time. They might have 15 or 20 minutes to read. And then that's all they got every day because they busy. So you think about people outside of yourself when you're writing a book. It ain't even, you know what I'm saying? You're writing it to entertain this group of people. So when you're writing the book and you're trying to entertain this certain group of people, you have to consider their situations. You got mothers who got multiple kids who might be single. You got brothers who might be, you know what I mean, could be working 2 jobs. May have kids, may have certain other situations or obligations that they're trying to take care of. So they really only got about 20 to 30 minutes a day that they possibly could read. And if they got that kind of time, if they yield that type of time to themselves, then you write for that. Because if they got this real big, thick old book, they're going to feel intimidated by those books. We've seen that on social media. People even say, how many pages in a book? You see what I'm saying? So you also find that like people like Dr. John Henry Clark, his books ain't 600 pages. You feel what I'm saying? He's writing for an audience, a particular audience that he knows doesn't have the time to do some of the things he's doing. Dr. Ben didn't care. Well, he actually did because he got some small books and then he got some thicker books. But the thicker books were all for researchers. Asar's work is for researchers. People who may have an understanding of linguistics and that can keep up with what he's, you know what I'm saying, can pick up what he's putting down. Some people ain't gonna do that. The average person don't have that kind of time to try to understand what linguistics is. They just want to know, can we get to a particular point and how you arrive to that? So you have to write according to your audience. And, you know, so shout out to Asar for the work that he does. They'll follow Banger same way. All of them, I mean, because that matters. So we have to consider those things. If we don't consider those things, then it's not going to really be a catchy thing for people. So yeah, this I think the last volume we wrote, or volume 3. Volume 3. That's probably our most lengthiest text that we wrote as a collective. But it's still within a page range that's attractive and subject matters that's attractive to everybody that's paying attention to what we got going on. But Go ahead, man. Your next question.
But hold on, bro, because I don't want people to miss what you just said. Like this is it's about the author and his publications, but it's also about the people and about them learning. So you hear Tootie. I'm online, I'm live. So you hear you just drop some jewels for the people, man. And I don't want that to go over the people's heads, Shawn. You said you talked about a SARS book, and you talked about our publications and your individual publications. You talk about you wrote the book for layman terms. So for people that writing books, this also goes with business. When he's talking about business, Shawn just mentioned an audience, right? So his audience is for those who are planning on writing books. You first have to learn who you trying to target your book to. So who is your audience? You trying to, what are you going to do? So he just explained to you about he write his books for the ordinary people, the people that's on the go, the parent that has raising kids of their own, and so forth. So he's not making a book, or we're not making a book that lengthy, and he's making it and simplifying it in layman term as much as possible, so people can get an understanding of it. And those books are with the pages that we publish. It's more attractive to the people that he's actually trying to target to, because he just said when he talks about a SARS book, right? And the SARS book, Illusion, which I have over here, and this is actually a copy that I want to give away, because my copy is on the thing. But this book right here, you see how thick this book is? So this may not be attractive to the people that Shawn just mentioned. It may not be attractive to the single parent with 3 or 4 kids. That may intimidate her. So she may not read that. So if she get a publication with 100, 150 to 200 pages, that may be more digestible for her. You know what I'm saying? So again, for those who are trying to write books, figure out who your target audience is, because even with the books, like he mentioned, Thela Falabanga, Asarium Hotel, we know that a lot of those books that they publish are published books, and they have a specific audience who they are targeting, which, I mean, they targeting everybody, but they are targeting, these universities, these institutions, these big scholastics institutions are who they're actually writing for too. So when you're writing, again, determine who is going to be your target, which is going to, give you some insight on, how you're going to write and even organize your book, man. So I appreciate that, Shawn. I wanted to just go back over that, man, and elaborate that, man, because you dropped some jewels and people may not caught what you just said. And again, that also just not goes for, but it just goes for business, you know what I'm saying, as well. Man, so let's get into, man, your first publication. We're going to get into this newest publication in a minute, but let's just speak briefly, man. We're going to speak briefly on your individual projects, the two that people may not know of, and then we'll go into this latest publications, and we'll kind of talk about that a little. We'll kind of elaborate a little bit more on that. We don't have any thumbs down, but I know once we get into that, we probably gonna get some thumbs down. There's something about that conversation when we talk about the coronavirus and COVID, the disease, COVID-19, and we start talking about vaccines, man, and people just go crazy. But let's talk about, man, From Cocaine to Consciousness, man. It was published, man, September of last year, September the 6th, 2020, man. And can you kind of talk about From Cocaine to Consciousness, man, or briefly about it for people that may not have purchased the book, that may be, I didn't know we had the book, I may be interested in getting the book, man. Can you kind of break that down for us briefly, man? What's the book about?
Yeah, From Cocaine to Consciousness is my journey from being in the streets, hustling, going through my experiences early on in my life, to transitioning into not hustling and basically turning over a new leaf, or succumbing to a different type of environment to treat, not treat, but heal myself, but in the process of gaining more knowledge about who I am, my identity, and things that have always interested me from since I was a kid. So I always had a fond history of a love for history, science, and stuff like that. So from cocaine to consciousness is a journey. It's a process. If you ever came up out the street, then you know what it is. If you ever, and you're in the chat right now, then you know what I'm talking about. Like being on the block, hustling all day, same clothes 3 days. You know what I'm saying? You just read up. You ain't going home. You got to get it all off. That's the type of person I was. If I'm gonna stand there, if I'm posted up, I'm getting mine all the way off, looking over your shoulder, checking the alley, doing all the things that hustlers do with some people, because some people hustle backwards, but just trying to put yourself in a situation to provide and take care of your responsibilities so that you can have the things that you really did not have prior to that, due to your circumstances and your environment. So coming out of that and then coming into some new information, I just tell a little bit about that and walk you through that process. It may be entertaining for some people. Some people may relate to it and can feel it. Some people will catch the vibe and then might applaud it and then appreciate it, and then may be able to relate to it and then see why I am today, due to the situations and circumstances that I faced previous. You're on mute.
Yeah, I know it. I muted, man. But yeah, man. So it's kind of like your autobiography in a sense, huh?
Pretty much. It's not really like the full thing, but yeah, pretty much. If you want to just kind of like stick to that, you could say that.
Yeah. And that name, like it kind of caught a lot of people attention, from cocaine to consciousness. So was it any marketing or I can't even say the word. I'm just gonna say strategic marketing strategy behind. I'm country, man. I cannot say some of these words right, man.
Nah, wasn't no strategic marketing strategy behind it, bro. Just to be real, it was just, you know what I'm saying? It just came to my head. Just the creative genius just said, from cocaine to consciousness. You know what I'm saying? When I put that in the chat, y'all was like, "Oh, that's a dope." You said it. He's like, "Man, that's a dope ass title."
Yeah.
It just came to my mind like that. So I was like, you know what I mean? How am I was just thinking, like, when I got ready to like write about it, I wanted to make it short, and I wanted to talk about certain things, not everything, because I could have made it a real long, but I could have really introduced you to everybody to the street side of me, and how I got down. Now I wasn't trying to be, and I'm gonna say this right now. I wasn't trying to be a gangster. You know what I'm saying? My daddy was a hustler. So I didn't want to be no gangster. My daddy would, if my daddy needed slang iron, he would handle his business however he wanted to handle his business. But I was caught up in the hustle. You see what I'm saying? So when I lost my daddy when I was 9 going on 10, I kind of knew what he kind of went through, because I know I wasn't gonna have really no more shot. People had gave up on me because I was always suspended and getting in trouble anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I really didn't have no outlet. That was my way of venting. All my anger and frustration I took to the street. And but shoot, my senior year of high school, you know what I mean? You see it in the book. My car broke down, and I was picking my brother up and taking him to school every day. And I felt obligated and to do that and make sure that I, looked out for my brother, and we did what we needed to do to get by and all that. And, you know, everybody around me was hustling. I wasn't even hustling in high school really until my senior year, to be honest, when it got closer to me graduating, because everybody else that was hustling, they were hustling in the 9th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, and some in the 7th. But I stayed away from all of that. I was more attracted to football at the time, and I really had opportunity to play football. But when I started seeing that they wasn't looking at me how they was looking, you had to be a certain height and weight and all that, man, you know what I'm saying? The recruiting wasn't coming, so it was much more smaller schools, and then they was away, and I ain't want to do all of that. So, you know, I was like, I just gave up on my dream, really, to be honest, and I never should have did it, but I kind of gave up on my dream right there. And the only other thing that I could fall back on was what I knew best, and that was what came second nature to me, and that's to walk over that hill, rub elbows with the rest of the hustlers. And then I just kind of absorbed the game from all of them and the OGs. And then I looked at my environment and I seen where people made mistakes. So where they made mistakes, I made them my lessons. See, when people hustle, they don't think like that. You know what I mean? They distracted. They trying to catch a play. They trying to get in between some legs. They trying to get an outfit. They trying to get the new Jordans. And they might smoke, they might drink, they trying to, you know what I'm saying, take care of their habits and do all of that. Or they might just be rapping, they might be trapping. So then they got to hustle up to get pay for their studio time and all the other things that they got going on. And they ain't even thinking about business or anything like that. So I made everybody around me, whether it was my homeboy who had five kids, 3 different baby mamas, and they all pulling up on them trying to get money all the time. I made that. I said, I ain't gonna be like him. He ain't finna get that. I ain't finna be in no situation where no guy got to pull up on me like that. And then, you know, my cousin losing his mind, shooting a junkie over $20, running the spy hot. I was like, I ain't finna do that because I'm trying to make some money. Why I'm gonna make my spy hot? You know what I'm saying? Or my cousin going against the whole family over money. And really the money was there for him to eat off of. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to be like it. Like greed couldn't make me turn my back on nobody. So if I rock with you, it's to death do us part. You know what I'm saying? Like you really gotta, for me to not mess with you, you really gotta do something to cross me all the way up. And I'm gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't rocking with you like that. And it's people that's even my family members, not really family members, but I have a family member that because of the streets, I drew that line in the sand and I don't associate because that person went against family, more importantly, my little brother. And then, you know what I'm saying? I don't rock like that. It wasn't nothing to where he just needed to be shot or beat up or something like that. It was just like, all right, that's the way you're going to play the game with your blood. Then I can't give you that same in return because I laid my life on the line a couple of times where we've been in the line of fire or in situations where people was doing this, that, and the third, and I'm defending you and over some craziness, and I could have died. So yeah, I don't right. It's a whole lot of stuff, man. But man, like that book tells some stuff, but not all the stuff. But I enjoy writing.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna read the description, man, for people too, man. It says, from cocaine to consciousness, tell a brief story about a young brother transition into consciousness. It starts out in his teenager years and allows us to walk with him through the present states. The journey was not easy, and some of his obstacles we, the reader, may have faced. However, the story is told from his mouth in his own words. So that is his book, From Cocaine to Consciousness. He kind of broke it down a little bit for you. It's also available on Same Tree Different Branch publishing company. If you want, you're interested in reading about Shawn's story.
Before we get off cocaine to consciousness, let me ask a question real quick. Is it anything from that life that you took and kind of was able to apply to the quote unquote conscious community or dealing with this information?
Yeah, work ethic. the streets teach you work ethic. It either expose your laziness or it show you how what type of hustler you are. Because that's the difference between somebody who make a couple $100 a day and somebody making thousands of dollars a day is they hustle. So the work ethic and the life lessons, you take them with you. You take the game. The game was a great teacher. You got to remember, I ain't had no daddy. So any little lesson was a teaching moment for me, whether it was through my own experiences or somebody else's. And most of the time it was through other people's experience until I had my own lessons. To be honest, I want to say this real quick though. E40, shout out to E40. But E40 all implanted this in my mind long ago. He said, outsmart the popo. And you know what I'm saying? That was my mindset. That ain't people mindset. Like I used to do like unorthodox things that made me different than everybody else. That would run themselves hot. You know what I mean? And then those lessons you take with you, and then you try to do that. So now it's not outsmart the popo, it's outsmart the pseudo.
Yeah, I like that, man. We definitely gonna have to come back and do a show on this one day, man. I don't know what we can call it because some of this what you're saying and some of this is, you know, your story is kind of similar to my story and some of the similarities. The only thing about my story is I didn't outsmart the popo. You know what I'm saying? And I don't speak about that a lot neither, but I did some time because I did not outsmart the popo, even though I thought I was smart. But I was smart, just hanging with the wrong people. But that's a story for another time, man. But I think we may have to come back and do something on that, man. And I'll transition. But anybody else, man, on the panel got something, man, before I go on to the next question. And y'all can just feel free to jump in, man. But I just always have my stuff organized because I never know if I want to be on here by myself or want to have somebody. So I always type my stuff out so the flow can go pretty good. But if y'all got anything, anybody else on the panel, just stop me and I'll stop, man, and let y'all ask Shawn a question. And anybody in the chat, if y'all have a question for Shawn, man, just put it in the chat. And I may throw out my Google phone number later on. I don't know, but we'll see because I don't want the interview to be entirely too long. We already an hour in the interview. But Sutek, you got something else? I don't know if T'Challa's still on here, and I don't know if Chave is still on here. Y'all, one of y'all got anything for Brother Shawn?
Nah, not on this subject. You just move on to the next subject. I might have something.
All right. What about the other fellas? Y'all still on here? Well, we'll move on, man. One night before bed, man. This is a children book for people that might not know. Shawn has a children book as well as myself has a children book. But one night before bed, man, it was published in August of August the 22nd, 2020. Can you briefly talk about your children book, man, and what the parents can expect out of the book if they purchase the book for one of their children, and give the the age specific of what you was targeting?
Really, that was just as far as the age, man, just children around 7 to 8 years old, somewhere around there. I think Caleb is he's 9 now, so it's pretty much kids around his age. And then as far as the book, the storyline is I wanted to introduce Africa to African Americans and children. And what way to do it than to have a storyline where they could see themselves in it, and just to introduce them to that using some historical references that would be really good teaching moments. So it's a journey. And for anyone that's unfamiliar with evolution, this book walks in the same direction as evolution, but it just touches on points that actually talk about the way people migrated, starting from the south, going to the east, going up to the northeast, coming back, you know, or either going northeast or going to west, and then coming back to central. And I hit on those points, and I made those points an enjoyable moment. So, you know, if you got a kid 7 to 8 years old that has a nice little literacy, reading literacy, they can comprehend. That book is a good book for them. It also tests their knowledge, their knowledge base. You got to think about it, like these educational centers, they're always writing books, or somebody's writing books, and then they're putting these things in what we call Walmart, where you can buy those workbooks. But I wanted to make this like a reading workbook that will help them absorb some things that'll be more worthy of them knowing in their childhoods, that they can carry on into their teen years, and that they'll see again, because they're going to see some of this information again. So that's why.
Okay, so I remember when you was putting this book together, and going back, I know people probably be like, "Dang, man, I get tired of Kofi saying that," but it's the truth, man. It's my truth, and I don't care, you know, how people feel about it or what or whatever. And a lot of times we don't give people credit when credit when credit due. Like, you kind of actually inspired me to write my children book when you did your book. But I remember when you mentioned and you started writing it. What inspired you? It was something dealing with Caleb, right? It was something he brung home or something. I remember you were saying,
the school system and the way that they actually teach kids. I just didn't like the way that it was being able to, you know, retain like certain information. Like, you know, they was making him work on stuff that I felt like just wasn't even worthy of him even wasting his time on. But you got to go with what you got to go. And we as African-American parents and African parents, we have to go a step further into properly educating our kids. So, you know, I wanted to do something not only just for him, but I got nieces and nephews, and I wanted to make sure that they see themselves. It was all about seeing themselves. Like Mail Track was a good way to see them, for our children to see themselves. And you know, that maybe that would make learning funner, or reading better, or comprehending more retainable. So those are some of the goals that I was looking for or inspired to do based on Caleb's behaviors with certain stuff, because they really don't teach them nothing.
Yeah, man, that's a pretty good book too, man. I gave some to two to my nephew. My son got one. I got one personally on my own, man. But it's a good read, man, and I like it because it's good for your kids. It's not a thick children book. It's an easy read, and you know, it's testing their comprehension skills, you know, by them reading. And then he has things where you're able to you know, answer what you read, you know, try to comprehend what you read so they can retain what they're reading. And also how you have something in the back, you know, a little page, you know, they can color in. So, you know, you making it educational, but you making it fun in the same process, man. So, you know, that's a you know, that's a great children book, man, for, you know, y'all to go out, man, and for y'all to go out, man, and get, man. It's also on Same Tree, different branch publishing. And Man, let's talk about, man, and I said soon as I didn't say nothing, but hold on, Brother Lavelle says, Sean, this interview is spectacular and inspiring.
I mean,
And
appreciate it.
You want to
and
ask a question, Kofi?
Oh man, look who it is.
that's the flow up. Now go ahead.
Okay,
Late coming in, and then late when I asked for
Oh
go ahead.
man, let his son talk, man. His son on the screen. Go ahead.
Why did you use the title One Night Before Bed?
That's a good question. Very good question, because I wanted you in particular. Thank you for reading it. You know what I mean? I saw your dad, you know, he made the video, he sent it to me when you did it early on. So, you know, I really appreciated that I even shared it. But I labeled it that way because I wanted people like you to have the thought process of reading it before you went to bed at night, but able to read it in the afternoon and retain it as a story. The story is supposed to be a bedtime story, but when you get to reading it and it takes you some places, you know, it teaches you these things that go around. It has nothing to do with bed, but it's a story, and in the storyline it carries you through. So it's a little play on words, one night before bed, because I tell you the truth, I think my grandmother read to me one time when I was a kid. And it, you know, usually when parents read to their children, it's always at nighttime. And so that was the influence behind that, you know what I'm saying? I kind of kept that near and dear, you know, like that's where it come from, one night before bed. Like Siobhan, I got pictures of when Caleb was just a baby or Eliza was just a baby, and you know what I mean? She's a great reader because she's animated. Mothers are real animated with children. So when they read the books, they do it at night before bed. So I wanted to be like that.
Why he's on here too? Just I mean, we
Tell everybody who you are. Tell everybody who you are first.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I am Chavis' son, and my name is Chavis McCray Jr. And yeah, I don't know what to
Don't be shy. Nah, look. Nah, don't.
on that basketball court. He wasn't shy.
Yeah, he wasn't shy on the court.
Yeah, I met Chavis' son as well, man. But why we got your son on here, Chavis? Just for while everybody's looking, and I know he read the book. How was the book for you? How was Sean children book One Night Before Bed for you when you read it? Did you like the book?
Yes.
You liked the book. It was real easy read to read.
Yes.
You was able to comprehend each thing in the after the chapter where he was able to I say the quizzes. I don't know. I can't remember what he entitled is, but the quizzes. Was you able to retain the information and answer the quizzes?
Tell him how you told the teacher about the stuff that's in there.
I had told some of the book to my teacher, and to be specific, I asked her one of the questions is to make sure she knows about it.
What was the question? If you can remember, what was the question? You can't remember what the question was?
No.
Okay.
Was it the name?
Yeah, I think so.
The name of the people or what?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he told me he had the teacher asked him. She was interested. She wanted to see the book and everything.
Right.
So, it's a very well put together book.
Your question, and to answer your question, Kofi, he did well. I think he may have got one wrong, and Chaves made him do it over again.
Okay. That's dope, man. That was dope, man. You was able to inquire your son, and because this actually was somebody. This young man was actually read the book, man. So we appreciate it, man. We appreciate the support, man. And He's scared. Don't be scared, man. Like I said, he was a beast out there on the court, man. He wasn't scared. He went around shooting, you know.
Hey, now hold on. Nah, that ain't it. And he was talking crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. And I got
Oh man.
He kept on saying he kept on saying you can't shoot, or he kept saying you ain't gonna get this rebound. He was saying stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I embrace it.
Yeah. And I got footage, man, coming pretty soon too, man. I'm just trying to piece it together, man. Me and Sean and Travis actually meeting, and we meeting his kids, and us hanging out and going out and eating, and just fellowshipping, man. So y'all be on the lookout, man, for that footage coming soon. I'm trying to put it together. That's why y'all hadn't seen any pictures of the stuff that my wife actually recorded. But yeah, man, let's get into this thing. And when I mentioned it a while ago, Sean, I mean, instantly after I said it, Sean, we ended up getting a thumbs down on the video. I mean, it's cool. I know you watching. That's crazy. People don't like some of the stuff that we talk about, but they engage every show. They engage in the show, and then they come in and they thumb the video. They thumb the video down. And I know when you mention when you mention vaccine, you mention coronavirus, a virus in general, you mention a COVID-19, man, people, like I say, begin to lose their minds, man. That's crazy. So as soon as I said that, man, we get a thumbs down, man. It's all good, man. We appreciate it in a way. Thumbs up, thumbs down. But people that appreciate the video, we got 34 thumbs up, man. Please continue to thumb the video up if you liking the video. If you don't, thumb the video down. We don't mind either way. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your views, man. We definitely appreciate that, man. But let's get into, man, this thing, because I want to talk about this a little bit. What SARS-CoV taught me. And I know I said, man, before you do anything else with anybody else, I want to be the first person to interview you. And the reason why I said that was, I was afforded the privilege of editing what SARS-CoV taught me and do the process of what we do at a Same Tree Different Branch. We don't run your thing through a machine and edit it and let it do the program, do what it does. We let it does a little bit, but we read the entire thing. And we do it based off of that, which is the second level. We run it through the machine for the program. We do certain things, and then we second level, we come around and we read the entire thing, and we edit it as we are reading, or after we read, we take our notes, critique things, look for grammatical errors, restructuring paragraphs that we need to restructure. Just certain things that comes with editing, but man, I was blown away by reading this book. And that's why I said, man, I want to be, because I know everybody else got their book. I've been read the book, and I'm glad that
some people, not everybody. I think there's a lady in California that hadn't got hers yet. But I think Sadiq in Compton, he got his, but I think that person is in like Sacramento, so Northern Cali. It may be there, but a lot of people are or have been getting their books. So hopefully that continues and they get them quickly. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it. But go ahead, man.
But no. So so I just wanted to interview you because I wanted to talk about the book some, and let you talk about the book, just because, like I said, man, it was Benita said she got hers today, because I learned a lot. Like I'm saying, I'm not my expertise. We got another thumbs down. But
that's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, no, we want the thumbs down.
Yeah,
which
Chavis over here. Chavis got his as well.
is better than no reaction.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's why I'm saying it. Thumb it up, thumb it down. It doesn't matter to us. I'm just saying, it's just crazy to me when certain words get mentioned, man. People just, I don't know, man, go crazy. But anyway, like I said, man, I was forwarded, and I read the entire book. I started out reading. I mean, well, actually, you posting articles on Facebook and you throwing articles in the back chat, or the Mossi back chat, our Kofi Piesie Research Team back chat. But I wasn't able to. After a while, I wasn't able to keep up. I'm trying to do other stuff. So I wasn't able to catch up, so I kind of got behind. But I knew the basics. So, but getting this book, man, and actually reading it, man, like, I mean, it's like I said, is again, the target is, you broke it down in layman terms. Some things you're gonna have to look up. I think when you get to maybe chapter 5 or chapter 6, you may have to pull your dictionary out and may have to look up a few of the terminologies that he's talking about, the terms that he's talking about. But man, it was a great read, man. So what Sars-Cov2 taught me, man, it was published by Same Tree Different Branch Publishing. Same Tree Different Branch Publishing. It was published September the 18th, 2021. And can you talk about what actually inspired you to write this book? Because as I was reading, man, and I don't know, was it in your forward? I don't know if it was in your forward. Not your forward, but I think it was in your acknowledgement. I didn't know, and I'm not going to give it away. I want you to tell, because I didn't know what was your main focus and your purpose was, because you kind of redirected, like, what you was doing. You went from Africa, West Africa, and then you veered into, dibbling, dabbling in the Arabic sources, and then you went straight to studying the virus, man. And for, I know, at least a year and a half, 2 years, man, you was like extensive on this virus that, I ain't gonna say it, it's been almost 2 years. But you actually talked about it before you actually did a presentation on viruses way before COVID-19 came out. So can you explain what was the motivation and the drive behind studying this virus, and even after studying and putting a publication together called What SARS-CoV Taught Me?
Yeah. So maybe April of 2019, I did a presentation on vaccines. It was right after Divine. What's his name? Divine. What's his name?
Divine. See, and us, Unc, that's Unc, man, with that. What divine prospect? We gonna say something else. And go ahead.
Whatever his name is.
Prime suspect, like you've been calling him.
Yeah, divine suspect. Because all his information is suspect. But he one day he was on Dagger Squad, and he was kicking this whole herbal thing, and talking about vaccines was bad or whatever. And they were trying to talk about health or whatever, and they was having a whole Sabi conversation, right? Because they always got every year we got to bring Sabi back up. So it just so happened in 2019 they bring Sabi up, and they talking about natural herbs and remedies and things of that nature, and challenging Divine over the herbs and whatnot. I'm just sitting in the chat. I get on the panel, usually, and nothing against what I want to say. Nothing against Garfield, but usually when I'm on there and all of them on there, it's kind of hard to hear me. You feel me? Or my time may be short. But because they want to argue and stuff. So I just kind of just did a presentation on it, and what mattered to me at that particular time was just do the presentation and then just let Garfield give you the slide. So I did the presentation. I really didn't get no feedback from dude who came out about the herbs and all of that, because I was trying to clear up the ropes, clear up all of that. So once I did the presentation, it was just some traffic on there, but nobody really challenged it. And then they kept the conversation up. So they just ignored what I did. And then we talked about it again, and what I'm saying, and I kicked some more information on that. Cool. And then Unk did a presentation or something like that, and he carried the conversation forward, did it on Dude platform over there. And the conversation got some heat. Then they met up in Atlanta and all of that. They had another conversation about it. So now, due to the traction that was being gained by this whole vaccine discussion from April up until you start getting close to like October, there was a little buzz about a potential debate. And the research went into that and getting people qualified for that. And it just so happened that this event was around the same time that the anti-vaccine movement was already going to be in New York anyway, doing some protesting in New York due to the Brooklyn measles outbreak. Because of the outbreak in Brooklyn, they were forcing people to get the measles, mumps, rubella, MMR vaccine. And they wanted to, they felt like their privilege was being stripped. And so that conversation pursued, and then the debate was set up. So early December, Unk does the debate. And then 2 weeks later, we have the first 27 cases of some pneumonia-like virus, unknown virus, erupt in Wuhan hospital. And from that point forward, let me rewind a little bit. Before that, we had the Samoa measles outbreak. We had the Brooklyn that was earlier in 2019. Then we had the Samoa, which was like in October, November, and even in December, that was an outbreak. So we had these instances and these case scenarios showing the reasons why people need to be vaccinated and things of that nature. And that carried over the way that it actually carried over. And then we heat up, and then next thing you know, SARS-CoV-2 was in the building, unknown. And then it became known by January, February of 2020. But really nobody really knew at that particular time until more cases and then the spread occurred. And so it became instrumental to know more about the things that you already knew. Like you knew the benefits of vaccines. You know what I'm saying? You knew how it gives an immune response, and you knew certain things like that, but then you got to go deeper than that. You know what a virus is. You start to understand all of those things. So you said earlier that I was studying West Africa. Then you said that I was in another lane, and then dealing with Islam, and then boom, all of a sudden it was all about the virus. Well, in order to have some type of command for a subject matter, you have to be able to dedicate the time and put in the work and the effort to know. And I felt like this was a pandemic. So what better time, right? At least by February, people would understand, and before the WHO name it, at least by that time, you would understand that, hey, we are in a global pandemic because it's announced. So in the earlier onset, I kept saying, we are right now living in the middle of the scientific method at work. We're going to see this whole thing through. And so to be a part of that, I began to use your method, use your tools, Tep Hesep. Okay, let's start all the way over from scratch. Forget what we know about vaccines and a little bit about the immune system and all of that right now. Let's go back to the board and let's start from scratch. What is a virus? How does the immune system function? How does a virus spread? What is this? What is that? Those things, once you organize those things, then you can understand SARS-CoV-2. So that began the mission. And I just kept on stockpiling sources and data and collecting it and reading and making sure that I stayed abreast to everything that they was publishing. And what also helped me in my research or get better at it was open access. I had open access to articles, journals, and information that I didn't have access to before, unless you took certain courses or you had logins. That's how they come about. You're on mute.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about, man, your chapter 1, man. Viruses, man.
Yeah.
Is it a particular reason why chapter 1 is talking about viruses and how viruses work?
Where you start.
Huh?
Where you start.
Yeah, understanding viruses, chapter 1.
Yeah. So you have to start with understanding what a virus is before you can deal with any other, and before you deal with any other pathogen or how things are harming you or whatever. No matter the circumstance, you have to understand what you're up against, because viruses are unseen. And so I felt like, let's start there. You got people on social media arguing all these different points of contention, making up certain things and spreading misinformation, and they don't know what a virus is. People think men and women make viruses in labs. So you had to do that. And doing that, you create that leverage, man, and you deal with it how you deal with it. But I think that the path that for those of you who have the book and can actually see the outline of the book from chapter to chapter, that's the process. So I'm basically walking you through a methodology. I'm using Tep Hesep to bring the information forward. So by the time you get to the end of the book, you have a grasp of everything that you need to have a grasp of.
Yeah, I like it because it answers a lot of questions, man. Like it really answers, like this book is for people that that don't want to go research and read, but they want to know, because we know we got a lot of people that are lazy and they want to know, but they don't know how to go access this information, or they don't know how to properly research this. So, they just let it be, you know what I'm saying? You have people that, and then a lot of times the information, the accurate information, the misinformation outweighs the accurate information, and those people that not really reading or don't want to read and have questions, but they don't say they don't have the time, but they do have the time, but don't go research, and then they just lean toward the misinformation because it's hitting them in the face every time they log on to these social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram and TikTok is real heavy with it. And even some of these YouTube platforms are also heavy with misinformation. And so this book, I like it because, like you said, with the outline, even when you talk about the immune system, can you talk about that? Because I hear you talk about you can strengthen the immune system, but you can't boost the immune system. So go ahead.
Yeah, I said in the book, boosting will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to boost, you want to strengthen. You have to look at the immune system like a muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And until you deal with that like that, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to get anywhere. So again, I'm going to say it one more time. You look at the immune system like a muscle. If you don't work it out, you can't strengthen it. And what are the things that'll stop your immune system from working effectively would be the lack of sleep, smoking, all those type of things. And or you might have some type of comorbidity. That's one or two or more like issues in your body that might mess with you and make you immunocompromised. However, boosting is a myth. So When you say you're going to boost the immune system, what part of the immune system you going to boost? The adaptive, the innate. What you going to do? I ain't even talked about the third. There's 3 parts. Most people don't know that. So what are you boosting? How can you? What is it supposed to do? Oh, I'm just going to eat healthy and exercise. Those are things that you need to be doing anyway. You know what I'm saying? No one's against eating healthy and exercising. I'm the prime example of that. I don't eat meat. I run 3 miles a day. I cut back 3 and start doing 2. But I can do 3 easily. I can run, I can jog my little 3 miles a day and I'm cool. But that ain't gonna stop you from contracting a virus.
Boom. And I said the same thing yesterday. I was telling you, not yesterday, but Thursday, I had an argument with my cousin's business partner. They own a barbershop, Hot Shot. Shout out to them because we actually finna be working on something too, or we be actually gonna be doing something in the barbershop and bringing a show there live from the barbershop between me and Brother Gill. Shout out to Brother Gill because we always kind of going back and forth sometimes. Sometimes I be quiet, but I come right on out of there. But, you know, I couldn't be quiet today. And that was some of his things was the Dr. Sabi conversation was brought up, the boosting of the immune system and eating right and exercising will avoid you from getting the virus. If you eat healthy, keep your immune system up, keep the mucus out of the body, then you cannot catch the coronavirus. And that is definitely inaccurate. But so Brother Gill was talking about this yesterday in the barbershop, and we was going back and forth about this because there was so many people in the barbershop. And I just didn't want that misinformation to be out there. I just couldn't be quiet at that particular time, man. But so a lot of people is talking about boosting the immune system. Is eating.
Now, hold up before you go that far. So he talking about mucusless diet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, one of the defense mechanisms against protecting yourself against these pathogens, right, is mucus. Because, you know, you got to think about it. How important is this? Is how you know, because remember I did the post I put on Facebook talking about during the pandemic. I talked about boogers.
Go into it, man, because
when I talked about, I ain't gonna go too far, but when I talked about boogers, how important are boogers? Well, ladies and gentlemen, boogers can block viruses. Did you know that? Boogers can block viruses. How do you get a booger? A booger comes from what?
Mucus.
So the mucus is part of the defense mechanism against pathogens. It's part of that. This is what I mean by people don't pay attention to what they're actually listening to, they're believing. You have now made a mucusless diet a religion. And that's just bad. But go ahead.
But yeah, no. And man, y'all go check it out because people might be like, man, Shawn, you crazy. Because when you post, I didn't know that. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with you, man. I didn't know nothing about that. So when you posted that was about a year ago. And I was actually, after I read the article, I was telling my wife about it. And man, she was looking at me like I had lost my mind, bro. She was looking at me like I had lost my mind. So I was trying to get her to read the article, but she just would not read the article, man. I said, man, that was because that was something that I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I had the article. I actually had it saved, but I don't know what I had it. And it might be on my old computer in the other room. And I think that's where it's at. I will post it in the chat so people can actually go check the article out. You know what I'm saying? And then, do your own due diligence of research and go behind that article, like you said, to scrub the sources in that article as well, man. But that definitely was a good article, man, and something that I definitely, man, I didn't know nothing about, man. But yeah, man, and also in the book you talk about the long-term effects, and we talked about that Monday, man. We talked about that Monday on the show, and I knew some about the long-term effects, but in certain things, like I know last year, and I know we was looking at this thing in real time as it unfold. That science was trying to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? Scientists were trying to figure this thing out, this novel virus, right? And so all we would say, or I know definitely what I would say was that, it attacks the upper respiratory system. But this virus, it attacks all the organs in the body, and you expose some of the other symptoms because we knew that it can cause diarrhea. We know it could cause high fever is another thing of symptoms. Headaches. Can't breathe. Hard coughing, and some other symptoms, but it was some other things that you brought out that I didn't even know about, like COVID tongue and COVID toe, fog, which was something that my wife had. But I knew about that, and the only reason why I knew about that at that time is because, like I said, as this stuff started unfolding, and they started finding out certain things. It seemed like you would be on it right then, and you would post these things, and at that time I was up on par with you when you was posting articles and reading. But then, like I said, after a while, I kind of got too busy. I kind of fell behind. So, but you talk about brain fog, and you talk about some other different things, man. But kind of talk about the long-term effects real quick that you talk about in the books. Some of the things that people may not know and how long the long-term effects can be.
Well, they're still studying the long-term effects from the perspective of knowing just what SARS-CoV-2 does. Sorry about that. Print off that thing. But what SARS-CoV-2 does to the body, right? So they know that it creates 203 symptoms. This they know. The average person will experience maybe 55 different symptoms in their body. And the symptoms, could be severe or not. You just really don't know. It's a multitude of things that actually work in the favor. However, they know that it attacks 10 organs, but at what rate? And then as time has progressed, we've known more things about SARS-CoV-2 and the disease COVID-19. Right. So we know what the virus does. We know the virus is this SARS-CoV-2, but we know the disease is that COVID-19. So when you're talking about brain fog, that means it's not this is more than a respiratory issue. It's attacking the whole body from head to toe, all your extremities. And the dangerous part about it all is the fact that even if you have an asymptomatic response, you still could be potentially, your lungs could be chewed up. And you really don't know it until it gets too far in it. And then you have to have some type of surgery, or you end up on the ECMO machine. And you originally just went in the hospital and then came home and felt fine after a couple of days. And then next thing you know, by the 4th or 5th day, it got worse. So as far as the symptoms go, these are the risk that you take when you believe in natural immunity. It's the most dangerous, and it'll kill you. So am I willing to do that to my body with the understanding of knowing that if I just got a vaccine, I can prevent severe disease, the spread of severe disease? Like, seriously, think about that. If I just got a vaccine, I wouldn't be laid up in a hospital talking about my lungs, my heart, my kidneys. I now have developed erectile dysfunction. I have now developed diabetes, and it doesn't even go away. Diabetes ain't going nowhere. I ain't had this before. I had no sugar problem before. I didn't call cold, and now I got a sugar problem. Now I got an eyesight problem. Now I got memory loss. Now I still can't taste and smell 6 months after I've been. People haven't been honest. All these people on social media who brag about they've been infected with COVID twice still aren't being honest about their condition because they don't know. They just think that they just got sick for a week or two, and then they feel better than they did the original week or two, and now ain't nothing going on, but they got some type of weird cough that happens every now and then. It's inconsistent. It ain't just happening every day. It's inconsistent. So they just look at it as, I just got a little cough or a little something, a little this or that. No, the disease is still inside your body spreading, fool. It's still working on you. You don't have anything to prevent it or stop it from spreading. So just because you survived one infection doesn't mean that your body's going to continue to be the same after the second infection. And then you still are able to get infected again. But you're like, well, I'm supposed to develop this type of memory or whatnot. And that's the challenge with people, because they think that, oh, I get infected and then I'm going to have some type of immunity against something, not understanding that 36% of the people don't develop any type of symptom. And the reinfection rate is doubled. And that just because you had no reaction and you're asymptomatic, you can be a carrier for the spread of this deadly virus. And then you come into contact with people who are immunocompromised, and then you take them out. So this virus works in a way to where it puts at odds. That's why I said it is a threat. SARS-CoV-2 is a threat to Black power. It attacks everybody else, but it is a bigger threat to Black power. In order for us to accomplish anything, we have to work in unison. That means we need a community and unity in order to do anything together to advance our people forward. But if the majority of the people are anti-protection, then we're susceptible, right? We're susceptible to death. Potentially, because most of these people gonna die. Most of these people gonna develop some things that they ain't gonna ever get rid of. And the further we get into this pandemic, the more we understand that the long-term effects from the infection outweigh the long-term effects of a vaccine, if there's any. You're on mute, Kofi.
I'm glad you brought that out. I forgot I muted it over here. I'm glad you kind of brought that out, man, because people don't, man, I was explaining that too in the barbershop, man. Like, you know, we got to stop being irresponsible, because even if you be asymptomatic, you still a carrier where you can transmit that disease to someone else. And that person that you transmit that disease to may not make it, may not be asymptomatic. Or you may give it to mom, which my mom okay now. You know, I was concerned about my mom. My mom has asthma. I had asthma when I was a young man, but I don't know if you can grow out of it. But you know, that's what we say in the community. You know, people grow out of asthma. So I didn't have to have my pump anymore. But my mom still have bad asthma attack, and she had to have asthma pump on her all the time, but she got the vaccine. But before she got the vaccine, I was definitely scared that someone irresponsible may come along, because she work in a place where a lot of people where she work at, they are actually young people work there. So they done pushed out all the old people out so they can come in and change up the pay, you know, but my mom's still working there, and I know it's a lot of irresponsible people that work there. So I was scared for my mom. But even with people catching it, you know, that don't know that's catching the virus, you saying that they can the long-term effects. You know, I was looking at, I don't know if I read that in your book or it was something that I was reading a few weeks ago, where I think it was something I was reading the week though, but it might have been in your book too, Sean. I can't remember, man. But it was saying how diabetes, how the increase of diabetes went up for people who actually had COVID-19.
Yeah, I think I put that in the book.
Yeah, it might be in the book. I can't remember. But it might have been in your book that I read, man. But the disease, you still, even if you get over it, the disease may not be gone, and it may cause you to have other health issues along the way, even with the heart. Like my wife, I think, you know, and I'm not sure, but I think with my wife, I'm thinking that it actually caused her to kind of have heart problems, because she's kind of like, she wasn't having heart problems in the beginning, but now she's having heart problems.
Yeah, to do that.
Yeah, and even with memory loss. Like
let me speak to the heart real quick. So
Okay.
what it does is it builds inflammation around the heart, makes it susceptible for the heart to pump and function correctly. All right, and also in that it ravages the heart. So your heart is beating at a certain pace already, but COVID is attacking that beating heart. So some people's heart may have skipped beats and they ain't paid attention to it, because they don't know their body like that, or they're thinking maybe they tripping. And this is what I'm saying about people who've been naturally infected. They don't think about those things. But because the inflammation, this clog in the heart, trying to get into the arteries, messing up your blood flow, you know, dealing with all this type of these type of issues, this thing is deadly. Now think about it. Let me just say this. Think about one of the biggest problems in the Black community is people have high blood pressure and diabetes already. And you got a virus that attacks high blood pressure, people with high blood pressure and diabetes. Because some people are overweight, some not all. You can be perfectly healthy and it still do the same thing to you. So it really, you don't know what you're up against. It's the hell of a risk. But the fact that high blood pressure is a reality for us, it makes it all the world worse. That's why they say Black and brown people are more susceptible to severe COVID, because of the implications of all of those things that, you know what I'm saying, that deals with our immune system and how it functions and all of those things. So we have to be more careful than everybody else. One, we don't really just go to the hospital like that. Two, we have issues with maintaining a proper diet. We don't know what a proper diet looks like. And those are the things that we got to do better at. And this pandemic has taught me that there's major implications for not being vaccinated. So if I just got vaccinated, I could prevent those major implications from occurring. And I also will be protecting the people around me by making an informed decision based on science or the science, and not my feelings or some emotional response via the internet.
Man, dang, boy, this time to flying, man. We've been on it for 2 hours, man. But oh man, let's real quick, man, and we gonna wrap it up, man. I want to ask you, why is it that a lot of, when you mentioned the Black and the brown community are suffering the most? Why are Blacks and brown more resistance in getting something that actually could save them and save their family? It to me, like Unc
Lack of
said,
education, man.
the lack of education.
Yeah, it starts with education. The knowing. It starts with knowing, bro. You're supposed to be woke or conscious and you don't even know. Like the lack of properly understanding vaccine science, but just how viruses operate. That's why the first chapter is about viruses. You don't know anything about really how a virus functions. You know what I mean? You don't know the complexity of a virus. You don't know the molecular structure of a virus. You don't know what the receptor bindings of a virus is. Most of this stuff people are just now seeing or hearing about because of the conversations, but people didn't know that. You didn't know how a virus attaches to the cell, and then how it's received into the cell, and then how the ribosomes play a part in it, in the development of how this virus attacks the bodies, because it consumes the protein that's made from the ribosomes, and it mimics that, and it says, "Nah, I'm finna teach you how to make more of me, copies of me, and spread me throughout your body."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
People don't get into that technicality because it's, to be honest, it's too much information. Is confusing. It can overwhelm you. It could take that away. So if I can understand a certain part of it and then give you the science that particular way where it makes sense, then maybe you could comprehend it a little bit better, because all I really want you to understand is really how this virus functions. And then once you know how it functions, then you can see, okay, well, what is this vaccine about? Okay, so this thing is about, all right, developing enough protein, right? Having enough protein to help you develop the protection that you need, using that protein path to help you fight. But people don't really get that. And you probably heard scientists say this all the time. They start talking about protein. Wow, this is amazing how much protein is developed in mRNA vaccines versus second generation vaccines. Like, wow, it's just amazing how that happens. Why that protein is being developed, because it is needed in order to replicate and train the immune system and do what needs to be done to create that defense mechanism. So, it get tricky. It's a lot of information and it's over consuming, and therefore people will just choose not to just really deal with it and just say, the hell with all of that. And then here we have it.
That's crazy. But yeah, that chapter 1, man, definitely
Coach ain't got the book though, by the way.
Yeah, Coach ain't got a few of our books, by the way.
He too busy. He too busy making videos about underarm cologne. I ain't never seen a man get online and go live and talk about cologne that smell like your armpits after you done worked out, or sweaty feet. The man said he wear deer piss. Women attracted to deer piss. He said he called it panty dropper.
Yeah, man. Any of y'all got anything else on the panel, man? Because I'm finna get ready to wrap it up, man. We've been at it for 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, man. So
I just want to ask Shawn, how do you feel about people that characterize you as condescending because of whatever? Like, voice your.
Can you be more specific? Can you just go ahead and say what's on your mind, sir?
No, I just want to know. I want to know how you feel about being characterized that way when you're trying to advance and assist people and edify them.
The truth of the matter is, when people try to insinuate the things that they're trying to insinuate. So let's just use the example. Let's just bring it out, bro. So what Chavis is talking about is that people have been on social media, right? We're speaking specifically about a few people on social media that have questioned my credentials and felt like that I don't have the credentials to write a book about what Sars-Cov2 taught me. So they ask me if this book is, what is it, peer reviewed? Is this book someone else's work? Is this book based on, am I faking? Am I acting like I'm a scientist? It's all of those things. But how do I feel about it? To tell you the truth, I put so much work and effort into what I've done over the past couple of years, and I've absorbed so much information regarding the subject matter that it don't even faze me. It shows me the character of the person that's making the comment. Because where was you at when I was reading these articles or buying these books and trying to learn more so that I can help our people? Remember, if I'm going to be a science advocate or a science enthusiast, then it's my job to understand, first of all, research methodology. Second, that science is a tool. Third, that you use that tool to advance knowledge. So in order to be scientific, you have to advance knowledge, whether you have the credentials or not. You have to be able to stand on the peer-reviewed work. You have to be able to stand on the knowing of the information, the data across the board. You have to stand on the medical terminology and things of that nature that you may not have no command on, but you have to be able to do that. You have to know how to scrutinize, how to fact check, how to cross-reference, how to do all those. You have to use all those tools. You have to utilize all that in order to make sure that your people are abreast or up on game. So how I feel, I just feel like they just need something to hate on. That's how I feel. And yeah. Thank you, Coach. Coach said it. He says, they say that Shawn come off as a Mr. Know-it-all. Well, the truth of the matter is simply this. I don't even act like I know it all. This is what the expert information is. This is based on this. I draw my conclusions based on the collective data, meaning that I know I'm smart enough to disseminate information and weigh the conclusions from different studies and understand how they came to those conclusions and make an informed decision to let my people know that, hey, this vaccine is for us. You understand? You see what I'm doing right there? Like, I'm using proper research methodology to formulate a conclusion. My conclusion is, why am I promoting the vaccine? My promoting of the vaccine is based on the research that I've done, the studying that I've done. So in order for me to advocate, the expert information. So in order for me to advocate, I have to have a command for it. I just can't say I believe it because these doctors are saying this. That's stupid and disingenuous. Then I'm just doing what people of the Bible did, or the people you argue with on social media. And then all these people that sit here and saying the things such as all the misinformation or mischaracterization of information, they just believe in cherry picking certain stuff. Like, where is your command for this information? Like, we supposed to have a command for this information, whether we in the field or not. They bring up the term autodidact for a reason, because our best teachers were autodidacts. Kemet don't come up with Tep Hesep, the correct method, until they did what? Experiment. You know what the hell they was doing? They were trying something. They tried something, it worked, they replicated it, they worked. So now they begin to document the things they did to come up with that solution for every dang on thing that they did. They stuck to Tep Hesep. Tep Hesep is not coming on social media and hold on, let's just keep it a book. Kofi, I know you like to wind down, bro. And I ain't trying to stretch it all the way out, but
my bad, Kofi.
No. You good. Nah. You good. That's why I was asking, anybody had anything else, man, because we coming at the two. I don't want the
here you go, right. Let me just say it right here like this. All right. It has constantly been said to leave this subject to professionals. So seeing this post brings to mind a plethora of questions. Is this a personal diary, as the title may suggest, or is it an attempt at pretending to be a scientist? Does this book contain Shawn's own firsthand research and experimentation to further the study of said topic, or is it a book report filled with references to the firsthand research and experimentation of qualified professionals? Has it gone through the proper peer review process? Has it been submitted to a scientific journal? What is the incentive to entertain this project over the constant flow of evolving information coming down from the qualified professionals in the field? That's what he's referring to. That's just one. One person asked the same question over 3 times. But those are some of the things that's being asked, and on a post where Panther says the Mossi Warrior Clan and Kofi Piesie Research Team are the only African scholarship groups to have a member publish a scientific book about COVID-19. He says, I'm extremely proud of the brother, Ini-Herit Shawn Khalfani, for his work. If you want to learn about understanding viruses, understanding your immune system, transmission of COVID-19, the damage COVID causes, the creation of mRNA vaccines, and more, then you need this book. That's all he says. So from there, the brother made that actual, him, and then if I go to Unc's post, it's a similar comment to that. And that energy is coming from people who already have preconceived notions about things that they want to argue about. So to be honest with you, man, it's over what, 30 pages of sources in that book?
30.
I thought it was more than that. I mean, it's tons of sources in that book.
It's a lot of, so the bibliography is right in the book, right? And there's a reason for that. And a lot of that is because it's not just one particular article or one particular source that's saying something. There's a multitude. And in that multitude, you deal with a collection of data. You can't conclude anything unless the field is providing you substantial information that supports that. So no matter what, you still got to do the reading. No matter what, you still got to do the research. And no matter what, you still got to be able to vet. Still got to be able to vet. So listen, the topic ain't even got to be about science. The topic can be about what I want to say. The topic can be about history. Do I have a PhD in history? But I can talk about history. Do I got a PhD in what I want to say? Am I an electrician? No, I'm not an electrician. But I can change a light bulb. I can change a switch out. You ain't got to show that, bro. And like, for real, like, what are you saying here? Am I man, listen, since I was a kid, bro, I used to be able to put like VCRs together, hook up cable boxes and all of that without any knowledge of any of that. But I wasn't a trained professional. I was just a kid that knew how to do something. It's like riding a bike. Oh, I'm not a professional bike rider, but hell, you get on there and learn how to ride it. I'm not a cyclist. So you're telling me just because I'm not a professional or someone that holds credential in a certain field of study that I can't know this? Because that goes back to the point of you being limited in your knowledge. You're unable to grow. You're unable to develop. You're unable to exceed, right? It's just like with like languages. If I wanted to be a priest, how the hell would I know I'm learning the right stuff? If you teaching me, I got to go behind you. I got to go to the source. I don't do rap videos claiming some Seshew practices, and I got a whole bunch of Cuban stuff going on in there. I'm ass backwards and I'm talking all Africa. So what I'm saying is I'm going to the source, no matter what it is that I'm studying, I'm going to the source. I'm going to get you all the available information from experts. But on top of that, in order to test my skills, I have to be able to have conversations with experts. And the blessing in this pandemic is that, shout out to brother Kevin Chilherd, because without him, I wouldn't have had the ability to be able to speak to experts. Shout out to Chavis. You know, he put me on 12.
Facts.
I didn't need it. I was watching Jama Network, but he put me on 12. But I found out that 12 was a little bit better because they were more consistent. Jama, you had to wait a couple of days for your data and information. So it really was a slowing the process, the learning curve down when you're trying to expand the learning curve. So, you know, it kind of goes from there. So you don't do those things in your development. You want to make it right now. You want to grow right now. You're doing certain things. You don't want to be stagnant. It's like when people say, hey man, look, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And then you're the only one doing it. You don't want to be slowed back. You don't want to be slowed down by those who don't want to do it. And that's just the facts. So, you know what I'm saying? You're not finna come at me and say this, that, and the third. Nah, it don't bother me. I just know your limitations. Now I know your limitations. That means I'm doing something right. The moment that I got you feeling uncomfortable about yourself enough to take 5 minutes out to write a post asking me if I got a PhD in, or do I study in these fields, I got you. Now you just showing your ignorance. You
got them anyway when you got them blocked, and
I'm a light-skinned elitist.
and they own posts still worried about you, still talking about you, still hating on you. You know, you got them when they following anything that has your name on it around, trying to discredit it based on only.
But they ain't even discrediting it though.
That's what I'm saying, because they don't even much deal with the actual data. It's always some type of character flaw they trying to project, or it's just them not being able to even intellectually articulate anything that's going on with what we are discussing. Like some of these dudes, we don't even have any business conversating with them, because you say, that surface level.
Right. And I'm gonna address that too, not tomorrow, but on the show on Monday, man, because it's a lot of stuff we really need to stop entertaining. But
they don't listen. They don't want to have that conversation. The truth of the matter is they don't want to have that conversation. What they want to do is they want to attack me back, because I always, like, if they kicking misinformation and I call them out on it, that's the problem. That's the truth. The truth is that they don't like the way that I attack their information, or I challenge them, or I say that they're pseudo, and then I demonstrate why I say they pseudo, because what they're saying is pseudo as hell. I don't give a damn if they like me or not. What you're saying is wrong, then it's just wrong.
That's why I fuck with you. You always like, he with that. He not just with that with y'all, he with that with everybody. You know what I'm saying? He challenged everybody information. Any kind of reasoning that may be too hasty. I went back and forth with this nigga many times.
Yeah. But man, we finna wrap the show up, man. Hold on. Let me do this. Go back over here.
Hear your voice, so.
Say what now?
You sound tired. You need to lay down.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff I gotta do, man. A whole bunch of stuff I gotta do. I'm gonna be up to 5 in the morning. But it's all good. But anyway, man. Go support, man. Beautiful Lessons About Kimoyo. It's on Same Tree, Different Branch Publishing. That's my publication. Go get our collective book, new recent, that we put out 2 weeks before we put out Sean's publication, Spearmaster Historical Survey in the Minds of African Warrior Scholars, Volume 4. Please go support that publication as well. We put, a lot of time and effort into that publication, so go get that publication. Also, go get the publication that we're talking about right now, What SARS-CoV Taught Me. Those 3 are available on Same Tree Different Branch Publishing. If you want any of our other publications for the first 3 volumes, they're on Same Tree Different Branch Publishing. If you want Sean's children book, My Children book is on that Same Tree Different Branch. Autobiography, mine and Sean's, you can go get that. It's on Same Tree Different Branch Publications. We got a few other things that's going to be coming out. I'll probably be talking about that on Monday. I'm gonna continue to try to bring content to the channel. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do 3 or 4 shows a week. I've been consistent with doing that, so I'm gonna keep on bringing y'all some good content, some educational content. I'll be back tomorrow with another show. Oh, y'all don't want to miss that. Y'all don't want to miss that. But Sean, you want to lead the audience, man, with any last thing? I hope everybody was able to learn a few of the things, man, that Sean actually went over tonight, or anything that he talked about. I mean, he dropped a lot of jewels, even just dealing with the process of publishing a book, figuring out your target audience, the whole 9, man. So he dropped a lot of jewels. So I hope y'all caught a lot of those jewels. If not, go back and rewind and check the video out. We appreciate everybody that came in and support it. Be nice in the chat, Sutek, man. Please be nice in the chat, man. Please be nice in the chat, brother. I don't know what sister
I ain't said or did nothing to nobody. I ain't gonna have nothing said or did to me though either.
All right, when she has to be respectful, and you have to be respectful in the chat too, man. We got to do better, man. We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
No. I hate when you do this.
We got to do better, man. We all, bro. I don't want to have a conversation now, but I hope even tomorrow with the show that's tomorrow, I hope that some of the brothers come on the platform, because I'm gonna just be real. Even my own teammates, they might be mad at me tomorrow about some certain things, man. But and one of them, bro, we got to do better, bro. And I'm gonna explain why we have to do better. And one of the comments that I got on the thing is it's a bunch of comments. Like if you go look at the thumbnail, I have a lot of stuff on there that actually people done said about us. You know what I'm saying? And some of the stuff that they have said about us, it could have been avoided. Like a lot of this stuff could have been avoided. Like a lot of this, I don't like all the attention. I don't like all the attention. I don't like people assuming certain things about me or assuming certain things about none of my brothers. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? And
how you gonna stop somebody from thinking the way they think though?
Yeah, I know it, but I'm just saying, man. But some of the stuff, man, we can avoid. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow, because like I just been collecting like a lot of receipts, man. It's been a lot of stuff in the last couple of months said about us, and some stuff that I've been said about us that I might show the receipts on them too, man. Like it's crazy. Some of the stuff, man, is we can't avoid. Some of the stuff that we could have avoid, man. But it's just,
if we don't say it, this the problem. If we don't say nothing to nobody and we just be quiet and just stay in our little corner and do stuff, they still gonna say something. If we just let the information ride out, and then we acknowledge it, but we don't go beyond just acknowledging it, they're gonna say something about us. Like it really don't even matter, bro. So at the end of the day, the thing is people don't want to be checked on their bull crap. Well, the same thing with the pandemic. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and we sitting here running around talking about ivermectin and all this whole other stuff. That information is listen, I'm gonna say, you might not like it. I don't care who don't like it. Misinformation will kill you faster than somebody in the street will.
But it's the way you deliver it though. And I don't want to get into it.
I don't even care about delivery.
Right. But you have to.
No, I don't. I write books. My delivery in my books ain't
exactly okay. Then if that's the case, then why speak on it? Like, and I'm gonna talk about that because a lot of times, like I'm saying, a lot of it, like I'm just gonna be real. If I didn't know you, and I was wanting to learn, I still wouldn't be able to. If you come off in a certain way, bro, I'm not gonna want to listen to nothing you saying. I will be more receptive. Just like I tell people all the time. I don't have a problem with anybody critiquing anything that I do. It's out there if people say something, I don't get mad, especially if they do it humbly. I don't say nothing. I can learn from anybody. So if I make a mistake, call me out on it, but do it respectfully. Do it, and tomorrow I'm gonna show people how you address. I got a tons of people that I'm gonna address. I'm talking about tons of people, and watch how I address. I'm gonna address them with respect. They may come back.
I'm gonna give people that same energy they give me.
Yeah, you going too far. I'm not gonna be nice. You be nice. You be nice.
We trying to be businessmen too, so we have to think on a business level too. That's all I'm saying. We more than just
nice,
on YouTube. So we have to, man. I'm done with it. I don't even want to talk about it no more, bro. I don't want to talk about it tomorrow.
You got a fair point, Kofi.
Talk about it tomorrow because I'm saying even with that, bro. Like with what we saying, bro, we have to set the example. We can't say one thing and then we do the opposite.
What's the example, Kofi?
Standing on certain things that we
what's the example?
We saying,
what's the example? Show me the example.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it tonight. Because this supposed to be about you. It's supposed to be author's perspective.
It ain't about me no more. So show me the example.
All right, y'all. I won't say peace.
No. Don't try to end the show right now. It's getting good. It's getting good. No, I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it. Look at how calm I'm asking. Look how calm my mannerism is and how different your mannerism is.
Right, because I don't want to talk about it no more, bro.
No. You're supposed to be the example, Kofi.
I am. I'm not.
You ain't acting like it.
Am I disrespecting anybody on the panel?
You disrespecting me.
How?
Because you raised your voice at me.
Okay, well, I apologize.
No, you can't apologize now. Everybody that heard you disrespect me. Okay. And then you sit here and said about the delivery method.
Okay, you're right. And I just apologize. I can apologize for that. I'm sorry.
You just said something about the delivery method, then you turn around and your delivery method was disrespectful to me. No, let me talk. This is my show. This is my episode. Let me close out. You said I could close out. I'm trying to close out.
I'm gonna mute my
No. Mute your mic. Mute your mic and let me close out.
I'm gonna let you close it out, man. I'm gonna let you close it out.
Yeah, thank you, sir. That's all I ask. You disrespectful, fathead mofo. Now, like I was saying, it don't matter how we disseminate the information. We don't disrespect people when it comes to the information. When we're dealing with people who are disingenuous, then you come at them the same way they come at you. But you're not going to continue to antagonize me on some stuff that I done already addressed with you in public and private, just trying to give you the information and telling you, hey, just look at this information first before you even say anything else about it. But the moment that you refuse the information that's being given to you and you decide to just continue to be ignorant, then I'm just going to treat you like you ignorant. The example is this. The standard is this. Slow down. Review all the work, use proper methodology, and come to an honest conclusion. Do not assume or make up anything and argue with using the hypothesis as if it's the conclusion, because you're bound to make mistakes. So no matter what comes out of tomorrow or Monday or whatever Kofi says, I'm not changing anything for anybody because it's life-threatening. And I ain't even been arguing with nobody. I just simply dismiss you.
No, I didn't say that. But you know,
I'm trying to close out.
All right, but I'm gonna tell you what.
No, I'm trying to close out
because you're my brother, and I'm gonna let you do that. But when you make statements like that, bro, like you really disappoint me when you make statements like you don't care about what nobody else say. Like I'm your brother. Like, bro, I'm saying I'm your brother.
Did I say I don't care nothing about what Kofi said?
You're talking about outside people.
Right, but even with that, like what I'm saying is, bro, We
don't.
have to do better.
Lives are on the line.
Exactly. I'm just saying.
Okay, so if somebody don't care about people living and dying, then I don't care what the hell they say. That's what I'm saying. If it's someone genuine, I can have a genuine conversation with a genuine person. But if somebody's being ignorant and we know lives are on the line, bro, I'm not finna be calm, cool, and collective with an idiot. I don't have that kind of time because people are dying at 2,000 a day. Why am I finna be nice? I can't be nice no more. I can't be nice no more because the people that are dying are looking more like me and you. They looking more like me and you. A dude who didn't want to get vaccinated killed himself and his daddy that looked just like me and you because he caught COVID. It developed real severely, and his daddy was immunocompromised and went to go get his third booster shot before he can get the damn booster shot. He didn't caught a breakthrough infection, which took him out of there because he had comorbidities. It's no longer a game. Us being ignorant and sharing TikTok videos and thinking this is the end all be all. It's over for that. We can't play with these people. So I wrote the book to really stop me from arguing with ignorant people and say, all right, you know what? I address that here in this text. I don't want to argue with you no more. I fought all last year. So now the only fight that I'm fighting now is when the people are so ignorant that the stuff that they're saying is actually killing people. That's the only fight I'm in. I don't even talk to half of the people that I really, used to engage in. I just withdrew from them. But I'm saying the way I come across, I'm going to rub you wrong because I ain't afraid to take the truth. And the truth is very uncomfortable and people don't like it. And it makes people frustrated. There's no cute way to tell the truth. We can try to say it all calmly, nicely, politely, with so much good character and ethics and demean it and wrap it up and package it in love for everybody. But they gonna spit in our face, Kofi. Just check out the boy that we had on the channel the last time when you cussed him out.
Bro, he just called me a coon today. And I ain't doing nothing but tell him that Wilder was gonna lose. Like, I got called a coon for that.
But that's
what I'm saying.
But I'm saying we have people like that, Kofi. So what we can't do is all of us can't be Martin Luther King. We just ain't. You can be Martin Luther King. I'm gonna be Malcolm X.
One thing I noticed,
we're gonna attack it the same way.
Shawn real good at discerning whether somebody is actually genuine or if they just ignorant. Because it be times I didn't try to give people the benefit of the doubt and take that,
take the Kofi approach. He took the Kofi approach. It's called a Kofi approach.
And it backfired.
Look at Kofi face.
We had an incident on his show. We thought the dude was, coming off anti. I was going to get on him, but Shawn was able to recognize real quick. Hold on, this dude just, he hesitant. He understand a little bit. And we actually had a good dialogue. I could vouch that he do.
Kofi didn't see that show though. He didn't see that show. He said where your boy was like, hold on, Travis, we ain't gonna feed him to the wolves yet.
What was that? What show that was?
See, the other day we had a show. We were talking the vaccine. Whole brother I ain't never seen before. I don't even know. He said he just found the show and just was talking about it. And next thing you know, him and Chay was going back and forth about like hybrid immunity, and he called it kind of pseudo or whatever. But I was like, maybe it's a miscommunication between the two at the end of the day. But what came out of it is we got them on the panel, both of them from Houston, one on the north side, one on the south, and then you know what I'm saying. We let it build. We let the beat build like that. So no, I'm not finna attack people. The only people that I'm attacking is the same people who keep bringing that same energy. That's really, really, really gonna kill somebody out here with this misinformation that they're pushing. Like people, but people who are rightfully hesitant based on circumstance and things of that nature, we can have a conversation, because I'm more interested in finding out where your hesitancy lies. Like, what's making you hesitant? You know what I'm saying? Like, he really was hesitant on some other stuff. Even if I agree with it or not, it was still a beautiful conversation. Like, I know how to have a beautiful conversation, but I ain't doing a beautiful conversation.
I'm gonna have to go watch that. I'm gonna have to go watch that, sir. I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, that was a good conversation.
No, I need you to I want you to go in tomorrow so I can set your ass up. That's what I want you to do. Because the minute you try to protect these people,
no, that ain't what
the coach said you Malcolm after he came back from Mecca.
Oh, I might be.
That's fine. Nah, he talking about me.
Nah, he talking about
your soft. He ain't talking about your soft ass.
It's all good, but no, I mean, but I just want to expose.
We getting shot at with AK-47s, Dracos, and all that. They out here shooting at us.
Full of pseudo misinformation.
Full of information. Kofi over here talking about turn the other cheek.
They ain't got no vest on, no bulletproof helmets, not
turn the other cheek. They just slapped the shit out of us. Turn the other cheek, Sean. Don't talk to him like
that. Ain't what I'm doing, man. But
don't talk to him like that, Sean. They're gonna be okay. Yeah, let them be lost, Sean. They gonna come around. We just gonna show them love, Sean. They gonna support it. No, the hell they ain't. Kofi, they not gonna support us. They're not gonna show us love. They ain't gonna do that.
I know. I mean, a lot of stuff, and we gonna deal with that tomorrow. I got receipts for people that said they didn't say what they said. I got receipts. I'm gonna show the screenshots, and I'm not gonna play some because I'm gonna address some people.
That boy said the vaccine gonna make us
no videos because I don't want nobody saying that I'm trying, because that ain't what I do. I don't, like everybody got everybody's name in a post because they trying to get hits. They trying to get views. I don't need all that. I don't need all that, but I'm gonna address some stuff tomorrow. And because it's just been built up, and you actually expired that show as well when you went in with just testing your microphone. You got some stuff off your chest and stuff I've been talking about, been dealing with for the longest. I just ain't said nothing. Let down after let down with certain people. People who I thought when I said I wanted to get in these circles, got in these circles. These people ain't who they say they are. People slick shots. One of my heroes talked to on the phone was my hero. Shoot, wasn't even the dude I thought he was. Don't look at him the same. Don't look at him the same. I mean, just a lot of stuff. People on Facebook, I'm just starting to see posts everywhere talking about us. You know what I'm saying? And not in a negative light. People throwing slick shots and don't think I know what they're talking about. Us, some of the members that was in the group, one of the lies that people talk about, I'm gonna address that lie tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
You saying that somebody said something about that recently?
Not recently, not about the lie, but mention the other brother. So it's just a bunch of, so I'm just sick or tired of looking at certain stuff and people saying certain stuff and people throwing slick shots. And I know a lot of it is just is hate, but we gonna address all that tomorrow. Man, that's not all, man. I probably got about 20 things I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. I got about 10 people that I'm gonna address. I'm gonna address, but I'm gonna do it respectfully.
You wanna say their name?
I may not. It just all depends on how I get in the moment. Some people gonna already know who I'm talking about. Some people not. And if they say who it is, I'll confirm it and say, yeah, that's who I'm talking about. But I don't have to use that. I don't have to say their names. If they know who they are. Some of the shots, the screenshots, I'm not going to have the people face or nothing off in them or nothing. I don't have to use their name. I don't have to say, well, I got views. I don't give a damn if what we get. Something I just want to get off of my chest, and I'm gonna get it off of my chest. Hope people tune in for it and get something out of it. Especially, I want them to tune in and see who we are.
They took your money and stopped supporting you.
Who? Let me get up. Let's get up off here, man. But yeah, man.
I was just saying they took your money. They needed your support. You gave it to them, and then they ran.
But yeah, man, we finna get off here. I said Shimon Hotep in the beginning. ETM Hotep. So I'm gonna say Shimim Hotep, which means depart in peace.
Get some water before you have a heart attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all and again, if y'all know anybody, any hip hop artists, you know what I'm saying, some dope hip hop artists, and they talking about something, let them hit me up, man. Or give me so I can contact them, man. I want to play some music from some dope hip hop artists, you know what I'm saying? Every week, man, I go live. I played 2 songs from Fortune Believes, who is a part of the Mossi Warrior Clan. I'll play another one of his songs off of his Fireproof album. Like I said, go and get the Beautiful Lessons About Kimoyo. Go get our new publication, our collective publication, Spearmaster, Historical Survey in the Minds of African Warrior Scholars, Volume 4, and Sean's new publication, What Sars-Cov2 Taught Me. So I'm gonna leave y'all can rock out with my brother Fortune Believe. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 5 p.m. I hope everybody come back and tune in, man, to the bill. Is gonna be a nice bill on tomorrow, man. We out, man. This is our brother Fortune. I hope y'all like this. We out.
Serving fire some style. 1, 2, 3. This shit here for my niggas up east. Ghosting police in the red corniche. This right here for my vets out west. Rockin' Rolex, live life, no stress. This for my niggas with cloud down south. Cats that peel out and shorties that drill out. This right here for the courts up north. Keeping the black brown handcuffed up. Fireproof is the name-o. Dishing out ammo. Cannibal in the bando. Gripping the pearl handle. My shit go pop like fresh shrimp and Crisco. Broke my wrist scraping up pennies to make nickels. Damn quarter, Chicago's the crab quarter for evil. Still, I got the wheel on my vision like Ezekiel. I'm a skeet. Barbecue garbage crews. My melon is shad. I rap tight as the pussy and the mosquito. I play too much. I say shit you don't say too much. Nigga, hands below the waist too much. Land on they dick like they chicks 8 and plus, but hoes feeling like apes in the face too much. I'm lyrically set apart. Hip hop pedagogue. Wet a hog at a spite and recite the Jewish decalogue. Political demagogue with true political views. Like Republican and Democrats and similar dudes, they fight and cite similar rules. Trayvon got shot by a similar brute to me and you. Don't forget about the niggas you shoot or what you bast in. And guess that make you innocent too. My link card don't start till after. On the 3rd, till then I eat animal crackers. On the curb I got more raps than Jesse Jackson. This shit is fly like Bessie Coleman. You better leave me Macaulay Culkin before I Hulk Hogan. Your V-neck, I murder a T-Rex to study his reflexes. Type on the V-tag, cause the Dale went out. It's going down like a ship when the sail went out. I think I rap dope, now I'ma have to sling this shit. You niggas never fly, see you on your penguin shit. Who the flame retarded MC be? Me, John Avarice, the lyricist doused in kerosene. This shit here for my niggas up east. Ghosting police in the red corniche. This right here for my vets out west. Rockin' Rolex, live life, no stress. This for my niggas with cloud down south. Cats that peel out and shorties that drill out. This right here for the courts up north. Keeping the black brown handcuffed up. I wallow in witch hazel. Handle a switchblade and spin you a sick fable. Hand you some lemonade then render you disabled. Apply for public aid, I spent it all on cable. Tell you hasta luego, nigga. I can rip a rapper. I mean for real like a snicker rapper. Spread his limbs round like chitter chatter. On the mic, I'm the fickle matter. Hell, I even hiked the mountain with a ladder. It's the broke nigga rapper. Hey, where my bros at? Yo, where them independent women with class, but really project hoes at? With the nerve to ask Gotti, yo, bro, who that? Same type of nigga you would treat like doormats. It's Malcolm X with braids. Break your jaw with the mic, then force you to play charades. Masquerade on the couch, recite the alphabet with a razor blade in your mouth. Cut off one of your ears and ask you to hit me out, nigga. All my bitches cheated on me, so why should I be monogamous when I can just put hollow tips and parts that make them erogenous? The 4th, 5th, and porn flicks got me convinced that it's more fish. Me forfeit, I'd rather gorge on horse dick with a whole board than my torso from face fucking a swordfish. Gorgeous with a mic, I'm Jordan. When I write, I'm Lord and all hail. I lift barbells, 2 reps till my arms fail. I improve, nigga. No wonder why my songs fail. I'm too cool for school. I got kicked out of Half Park trading textbooks for food. It's the A to the VA, R to the ICE. I love listening to LEP. I love Chinese water torture in the tub with ICE. It's middle finger to the CPD. This shit here for my niggas up east. Ghosting police in the red corniche. This right here for my vets out west. Rockin' Rolex, live life, no stress. This for my niggas with cloud down south. Gats that peel out and shorties that drill out. This right here for the courts up north. Keep the black brown hair cuffed, of course. 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 Ha, y'all niggas know what it is. Yeah.